So do what you got to do, man, and let's get this show on a roll. Welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by my friend, my companion, my duo. You guys already know who he is, Ben J. Nissim. We also got some other people in here. We got Methods, a.k.a. Zinni. We got Saints. We got Parasite. They'll be joining us today, and maybe some other special guests throughout the show. Draza said he was going to come on, so he might come on. We might get Draza on, and whoever else wants to join. I see people saying Wuskins and Scraps. They know where to come. Go tell Wuskin and Scraps they're welcome. Just join the call. They don't need an invite. I told them, join up if you want to be in the show. That's all they got to do. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it kicking, man. Crazy day, COD. Crazy long day. A lot of crazy shit, man. I just didn't expect a lot of this stuff, man. Some of these matches are really throwing me off, and my predictions are way off. And this is absolutely crazy. No, guys?
I think we learned a lot about a couple of teams. We had a couple of upsets, and we had a couple inconsistent teams be inconsistent once again. So I think we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, the first one with, I guess we'll kick it off, right? We'll go right into it. We got Dallas Empire going up against the New York Subliners, man. And this one was not what I expected at all.
Yeah. You want to touch on the vetoes real quick if you want to switch over to the
I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch screens. I'm going to bring it up for you guys. This is just crazy, guys. I just didn't expect a 3-0 here. Obviously, it's very disappointing coming from someone like myself who's a big New York fan. Obviously, I want to see the Subliners do really well. So this one sucked, man. This one fucking sucked. It's not what I expected. The boys just came out super flat. Super flat.
Yeah. I got to credit, and when you show the screen here, I'll kind of touch on it. So I thought Dallas did something really interesting in this series. I think FaZe did kind of the same thing earlier in this stage against NYSL, where they just said, we're just not going to play you on mostly checkmate maps, and force New York onto a bunch of different maps. And I think it was a good strategy. I think New York definitely had a chance to win map 1, but after the 6-0 on Express, I mean, I think it was looking a little bit slow for New York at that point. And I got to give credit to Dallas and sort of how they ended up playing the veto stage here.
Yeah, no, they looked really good. Dallas did look really good. Their S&D looked a lot better. I don't know if it was just a really bad day for New York in the search camp, but Dallas definitely looked like they did something. I know Porter tweeted out some movie or something that they didn't watch, and he said, this is why our S&D is shit, so I got to get all the boys to watch this movie. Do you know what movie he's talking about? Because I never seen that movie either.
I can't remember what it was called, but I think I've watched it.
Did you? I don't know.
If I get the title.
Tropic Thunder, which is a great
Tropic
movie,
Thunder. Yeah. That
Great
movie's
movie.
actually hilarious as well.
Yo, I'll be right back, boys. I gotta take an emergency shit.
Dude, you know, you always do this fucking shit.
No. Like, I'll stay on mute.
You either mute out or you gotta take a shit.
All right,
10 minutes. I'll be back.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right, have a good day.
One thing
Go ahead.
One thing I wanted to say about this series and what I like about their vetoes is they chose Express and they got rid of Checkmate, which obviously is inconsistent, and they bet on their S&D, in my opinion, because like I said before, Checkmate is one of those maps where if you're a better S&D team, I think you lose to anyone. And playing them on Express after New York has played that really well versus other teams was very ballsy. But obviously they came out on top of the 6-0, and I was actually really impressed, and I like what I saw out of Empire, obviously, when they played that map.
Yeah, I mean, let's kick it right off with the first map, right? We'll talk about the S&D, but going into this hard point, there was a key moment in this match where I saw New York really mess up, and Ben, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I already talked to Asim about it a little bit. It was the P1. It was the P1, the last set of P1 going to P2. That New York completely trolled it, and I don't really know what went wrong, honestly. I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication, but I also want to break down the setup a little bit because I think the setup could have been a little bit better on New York's side. So they definitely trolled. They definitely trolled a couple hills. You got to give credit to Dallas for breaking down the setup. So obviously it's a tough when you're spawning out like that and you got to come in and break a setup. It's very difficult, especially against some of the best teams in the world. So we'll break it down for you guys. But basically there was one guy over by Statue. There was one guy in Hill. I think Clay was up by Esky. And then there was one guy sitting on the main head glitch watching over the guy in Hill. This was on the P1 Hill. And then all of Dallas was coming from Gold and top Esky. And we just didn't get any kills. We got 4 dead. We clean wiped them. We spawned Dallas all the way out. And this is where New York needs to just hold and just kind of pin Dallas back. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it.
Well, before that, Tom, they didn't even have spawns. They didn't have P2 spawns to open the cell. They actually get all of the kills and killed Dallas off a rotation, so Dallas spawns all the bus. So okay, at this point, you and I were watching this, okay, they're up 20 points, they got the P2 spawns, they're in business, and I agree, they just sort of replay this out. They kind of misplay the situational, and then it kind of gets a little bit south from there for them.
No, 100%. And it sucks, man, because I remember that they went clean 4 dead, and this is it right here. Boom, pause. Yeah. So right here, you guys can see, I'm going to explain it for you guys who are not watching the screen, but it's basically one guy is top Esky, one guy's on hill, one guy's on the heady, one guy's street, and all of Dallas is spawning across the map over by that bank side of the map. So if you're New York here, you just got to get a good hold here. They have a 20, 30 point lead. They can hold all this time and have rotation the next, and they completely toss this. So you could let it play, Ben, and we could just break it down and show them what happened. But right here, so you have Clay over there, number 6. He's going to be watching the Esky side. Right here, I would like to see this guy, number 8, once he shimmies street and sees that nobody's there, maybe come back towards the hill, and then number 5 can pick up the street cross. But instead, Diamond Con, he gets singled out in the hill. You would have liked to see him maybe stay alive. And then Clay's not able to pick up any kills Esky side. So it's just losing fights. And I just think their setup was a little iffy there, no?
Go back one more time.
Yeah, basically all that went wrong here for the most part was, yeah, 8 could have made a play, 6 should definitely got a kill, but 7, the guy in the hill needs to be the last person to die.
Yeah, he needs to stay alive.
He should never be the first person to die on this push,
yeah,
ever.
I agree.
And then the only other thing 8 could have done is as soon as 7 reads the pressure on where they're coming from, he can either make 2 plays. He can either pinch gold window and start shooting him in the back on the couch, and you're blocking the spawn by number 5, right?
Yeah.
Or he comes back to hill and helps. It's one or the other, and you just had 2 wrongs happen there. The guy in the hill died first, which was the major blunder, and then Clay
needs to find one.
Clay needs to find one. But
Yeah.
the main thing is the guy in the hill shouldn't die, because if the guy in the hill dies, then everything's going to collapse. But if Clay would have died without getting one, at least they would have still had all the information with 3 of them alive on favorable positions.
Yeah. I see somebody in the chat saying that Diamond Con got bad timing. There's absolutely no reason to get bad timing right there.
He could have been on the right side of the point.
We had everything. We had street. We had somebody looking over him. We had somebody watching Esky. There's nothing else for him to watch. All he needs to do is sit there and preem gold or back up and stay alive. So bad timing is just not an excuse there. It's not. He shouldn't have gotten bad timing. You know exactly where they're coming from. You know exactly what you need to do. And now the floodgates open, right? Dallas, they come on in. They break that P1. They're able to get some time from it. New York still has a lead, but even Dallas now, they flip the spawns out, and New York are fighting from their backs now. So now New York could have put this game away, and now they're struggling to keep it going.
Yeah, and I like the way Dallas played there. They obviously allocated the right amount of people to the right side of to the green side of the map, and now they put them in a chokehold where New York basically has no other option but to flood front. And they're screwed. Yep,
they got a flood, and at this point, it's like now they're fighting for their lives. And then Shotzi wins a big 2-piece to get the scrap while his team is on rotation. So Asim, pay attention to Asim here. He's cutting off the people coming from front. That's going to be number 5. He's going to pick up a really big kill, and then he picks up another kill here. Boom. Picks up another 2-piece, big 2-piece out of Asim. Now all New York needs to do is collapse on this hill. They got this one guy in the back. That's going to be Hook. He's going to try and take one down, and they go 3 dead. So New York just doesn't clutch up on Asim's 2-piece again, and they go absolutely massive. Dallas, again, it's just like they're clutching up. Asim went really big in the front, and then New York just couldn't close coming around the back. They just got pieced up, and this is the shit that just cannot happen. And then right here, it was like, fuck. Like, they lost it. They just completely lost this map, and I think that was really demoralizing, because watching it back,
I'm gonna be honest, the spot that Kyler played right there was actually, like, really good.
Yeah, it was a good spot, but
the thing is, one of them probably looked at it, like, someone from New York probably looked at it, but since he was prone, they probably were like, oh, there's nothing there, you know what I mean? Like, him getting, even though he only got one, like, him getting that kill, like...
Yeah,
like them being worried about him, just literally made, like, honestly, just.
I use that spot a lot in challengers, but the one issue with that spot is like no one can really help you. So like if you don't get one there, you completely screw up. But he ended up getting one, and that's basically what won him that, like, what held it for him.
Marshall, I see you talking about the bad timing. I know he backed up at the wrong time. That was the problem. He waited too long to back up. There's no excuse there on that P1 hill to get bad timing. There's no excuse. And then right here, again, New York, they rotate to this hill, and they don't. The only person pushing out bank is Asim, and he gets traded out or dies, and nobody's there to get the trades. And without buzz control, and Dallas with only 2 points to go, they're fucked.
Wait, hold on. But Diamond Con also slid out of hill when they were about to lose by 2 points.
I know. I don't know. It was a questionable play. It was just. And then I also want to know. I don't know if the QBs.
That's why I was getting ignored. My mic wasn't active.
Yeah, you weren't talking, Zin. You got something you want to say?
No, I was just saying. So Kyler made a big kill in the back, but also the biggest play there was Krim's 2-piece in hill. If Krim dies in hill right there, Kyler's not like the spawn is being blocked by like. Kyler's not influencing the spawn because he only gets one. He gets traded. If Krim dies in Hill, he's spawning out. New York has a full collapse on Hill. Instead, Krim finds 2.
Yeah, he kills Diamond in the back. That was blocking.
So Kyler made a big play, but the bigger play was Krim just finding the 2 on time.
Yeah, I also want to mention to you guys, what do you think about the QBZ? Because I think a 2 Krig on these maps is important, bro. I think we should be running. I think Diamond Con should be running a Krig.
On
personally.
Moscow, 1000%.
Even on Checkmate, he had a QBZ out.
He got in a couple of situations where he would definitely
I feel like a 60 hertz Krig should be ran.
Yeah,
2 of them.
I mean, I haven't played on 60 hertz with this meta, so I wouldn't know, but I'm going to take your word for it, and I'm just going to say the Krig is better. Real quick, before we move on to this map, I just wanted to touch on one thing about that map. So you guys were talking about how Asim was the only one to push out Bank. In my opinion, you play this hill multiple ways, right? On that rotation, you either let them have Bank and you literally hold map control and make them flip themselves by attacking like the front side of the hill, or you have to stack Bank. Right there in that situation, they had one guy in Bank. Asim shouldn't have even been in there at that point. If he's the only one going to play that, at that point he's getting isolated, giving them a free entry basically.
Yeah, and but it's not just Bank to me, it's more bus. If they can get pushed up to that door, to that bus, maybe another guy there with Asim, and just trade out some kills there, that bus controls everything. Because if Asim dies and now Dallas is pushing onto that bus with 2 seconds to spare, what the fuck is New York going to do coming through the front?
My whole point was just Bank is irrelevant. Like, you literally want to make them flood into your setup, have favorable angles, win those engagements, and then flip them, rather than what Asim is trying to do. I get it, he's going to play Bank, but he's going for an insta-flip on like a wave that's all hitting him. But anyways, let's just move on to this map.
Yeah, we can move on.
I know on this round, the third round, you want to talk about the play that Shasha made on both these rounds, which they didn't catch on the first round. They didn't then catch on the third round after he made the same exact play before.
When he jumped up top here.
Bro, they gotta clear that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
why aren't they clearing this?
They're like working bomb without clearing it. They did. Not only did they do it this first round, but they did it another round as well.
It's like I think they threw attack up there and they just like didn't connect with it and they just thought it was clear. But like, you can't just throw attack and just think that it's cleared out. Like, attack can miss. Like, they could dodge attacks. So they threw attack up there and it didn't connect because they were on the other side of that wall or whatever the hell that shit is. And they didn't connect and they just gave up on it. Like, they're just getting free kills. Like, absolutely free kills for shots. And Ben is right. Like, he did it a couple rounds. It's like certain things that we got to pick up on. You know what I'm saying? And Shotzi played really well, just getting up here and being a nuisance. And I think one round Kyler was there with him. So I don't know. I don't know what the heck happened here. Did they not clear it out again?
Nope. Yeah, watch what happens.
Again.
I think they're just relying on their tax to give them information.
Is that what they're doing? They're just relying on tax. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. It's weird because it just doesn't seem like something that New York would do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just felt like the boys came out flat today. It sucks to watch. Luckily, right, they're in winners. They got bumped to losers and they still have a chance. But they looked a little shaky today.
The issue now is, and we'll get to the Thieves series here in a bit, but they've now got to play a Thieves team that's gaining some confidence, just reverse swept the team. It's a new roster. It's a dangerous game for New York. It's why you've got to be on it in every single series in this tournament. I know their matchup record now against Dallas is not very good, but they would have been in a great position if they won the series. Now they've got some work to do, Tom, to get in the top 4.
Yeah. You're also playing a Thieves team where it's like a complete new team. So you're going into vetoes essentially with a team having all this information on you, and then all their information that you have on the other team is based off a completely different roster.
No, 100%. 100%. I don't even know. After this S&D, it's like, you're in a tough spot if you're New York. You throw away the first map, you get 6-0, don't win around in the S&D. Now you're going to a control. You gotta somehow work a reverse sweep against a hot, confident Dallas, and that's difficult to do. That's not easy.
We'll skip to this S&D. There really isn't that much here.
There's not.
The only thing I wanted to... sorry to cut you off, though. Go ahead.
Fine, I don't care.
I just wanted to touch on the...
scarier than a team that has nothing to lose.
The only thing I wanted to say about the S&D was, obviously New York was playing it wrong, but props to Dallas, bro. Like, I liked what I saw there. A lot of the time on a lot of their offensive rounds, they were playing very well, like organized and together. And that's what you want to see when you have a team of Shotzi, Hook, and Illy. Like, you want to have them like grouped up. You want to have them playing things together and helping each other out rather than just like being all spread and scared. They look like they were playing with a lot more confidence in that S&D, and that's probably the catalyst as to why they played that so well.
Yeah, and that was something we talked about in the last episode when Dallas was shaking S&D. We were like, dude, with the team that they have, like the roster that they have, it's like they should be just playing the map together and just hitting shit out with some confidence, because they got so much talent to work with. It just didn't make any sense, especially when a lot of players on this team are like S&D made players. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just like, they're made for that game mode. Like, they're literally made for it.
Krim obviously S&D stalwart his entire career, and then Illy, Hook, Shotzi trio. I mean, they've been grinding S&D as a trio for like 2.5 years now. They were grinding trios in Black Ops 4 when Shotzi and Illy weren't playing professional COD at that point. They grinded again last year, winning all those tournaments in the beginning of the year. And then they were grinding again at the beginning of this year, and I wonder if just with the difference in S&D meta once Sniper and Smokes got out, they just sort of went a little bit sideways. But they've now been on a pretty good stretch here of S&D over the last like couple of weeks. That I think I'm feeling a little bit better about where their S&D game is at.
Well, hold on. To touch on that, there's just no S&D shit anymore. Like, beginning of the game, sorry.
What are you eating? You eat it again? What are you munching on?
I ordered 2 cups of froyo, put one in the freezer. I ate one, walked right to the freezer.
Oh, that's Zinni, bro.
Walked right to the freezer, got the second one out. I'm eating the second one right now.
This guy's unfucking believable.
I agree with Zin. That's the thing for pros is, like, I feel like scrimming pros and S&D is not beneficial for the most part to, like, most teams. So I feel like they got to scrim AMs. And leading up into this major, obviously, pro teams can't scrim, like, top AM teams because of the new patch.
Yeah.
And I feel like that realistically, that's the only good S&D practice that pro teams can get, because if you play another pro team, you don't want to give away your strats, or some people, you know, how pro teams are going to be trolling in S&D, like stuff like that. You just don't.
You think though that benefits,
you don't get good practice from.
You think though that benefits Empire, because you said they have a lot of those natural, like, really good S&D players. So hypothetically, they would need less practice on it as opposed to teams that don't have those players that are naturally good at the game mode.
Oh yeah, and also
we touched on it earlier too. Like, the not playing checkmate and being in that situation where it's so hard to win offenses and playing other maps, like playing Express, and allowing to be more expressive probably helps their overall ability and system.
Expressive.
Yeah.
Like the play on words, man.
No problem.
Yeah, Ben is he's a man of many words. You know what I'm saying? He's got a way with words.
So my thing is, so I was just referring to like S&D in general, like what you mentioned, like them grinding search from the beginning of the game. There's no S&D anymore, right? All the hacking and there's just no searching. There's no wagers. There's no tournaments really. So they can't play those. And then touch on like practice. Search and destroy practice, no matter how constructive, it's just not the same in tournaments, because it always boils down to like those split-second, minute like clutches. And I'm not really making a statement here, more so just like trying to start a conversation and gauge your guys' opinions. Like last year, my Ultra team, we lost a tournament, lost nearly every search situation when it comes down to clutches. Next tournament, which is the tournament we won, it just felt like everything was going our way. We were clutching everything. Like, I can't really pinpoint how that happens. It's more so just like some weekends your team is on for like clutch situations and some weekends you're not. Like, it's not easy to emulate like high pressure situations in practice. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not sure if you guys have a different opinion on it.
That's true for like every game mode, realistically. That's just true for everything in like COD in general. But that's what I'm saying. It's like you have a team like Dallas who's very experienced in the game mode, right? You get a little confidence under their belt. You want to see them playing maps like Express, Moscow, like all these maps that have way more intricacies than Checkmate. They do that. They play with a lot of confidence. They play Express well. We need to see that out of Dallas, literally for the rest of the major. If they can do that for the rest of the major, they'll find themselves in the grand finals again.
I agree. So I want to hop over and talk about this map. So after that 6-0, New York actually come out and win the first offensive round in a round where Clay gets exactly 1 kill on the map inexplicably.
You gotta say that.
And then it, you're like, okay, New York, okay, you got a good reply here, win a defense, and you're in business. Unfortunately, they let it slip. This map gets a little bit mixy. I don't know what you guys' thoughts were on this control. I know Clay finished somewhere on like 9 and 33, which
I mean,
he's not going to have a lot of maps like that. But
he had a bad map. People could bring in the memes, say the trolls, but Clay's been phenomenal all year, and he had a bad map. He had a bad map. It happens to the best of us. We saw it with Jerry as well in the Florida series. What are you going to do? Sometimes things don't go your way. Asim played absolutely phenomenal again. I can't stop talking about him, not because I'm a big fan, but, he's just like, I want to highlight him because he deserves all the credit.
He's a good kid, man.
Credit where credit is due, man.
He's a good kid, and he works really hard, and, dude, he just looks like he's on another level right now, so it sucked, bro. Asim almost fucking carried him to this map. That would have been nuts, because if New York would have won this control and brought it to a 4th map hardpoint, I feel like they could have won this series. especially how the first hardpoint went. And who knows how the last S&D map will go. But I mean, this was a disappointing series for sure.
I think New York's going to pencil this matchup in now because this is now, I believe, the third time these teams have played.
Mm-hmm.
They played in the major. They played in the beginning of stage 1, right? And they played in this match. Mm-hmm. And I looked it up, and New York's won 2 of the 11 maps that they played. So that's not great.
No.
So I think New York needs to kind of figure this matchup out. This isn't the last time they're going to play Dallas. Mm-hmm. Especially if they consider themselves a top 3 team. You're going to see them probably in winners finals, losers finals, maybe in one of these winners round again. So they've got to figure out how to deal with a situation where they're having to score up with Dallas on maps that aren't checkmate. Because those are the only maps they've won against Dallas. They're 2 and 3 on checkmate, and they haven't won a single other map outside of that.
They need to expand their map pool. Like Dallas literally identified the maps that they were strong at, got rid of them, and then won the first map, which was like the only map they were even somewhat probably worried about. And then from then on, it was just all Dallas.
Yep, nah, for sure. And again, it might be a matchup thing too. Like it just seems like New York can't put this team away. And obviously today was a little bit different. They got 3-0'd, but the series they've played in the past have been pretty close. And even here, right? I mean, the first map, I think New York trolled a little bit. This third map control, I think, Clay obviously had a bad map. I think things just weren't going his way. And, it just sucks, man. They just didn't play well. But New York, they need to figure it out because in order to be the best team in the game, you got to beat the best, right? So we say it all the time that they're a top 3, top 4 team. But in order to be the best, they got to figure out what they're doing wrong and try and fix every little thing going into their next match because I want to see them win, man. I want to see them win. And, they have what it takes to win, bro. Like, New York definitely has what it takes. They're just messing up little things. And right now, Dallas is just outplaying them, man. They're just outplaying them. And I agree with you, Chris, or Parasite, on the
They gotta expand their map pool, bro.
Yeah,
period.
I agree with you.
They people are getting used to the fact that they love checkmate. They're getting rid of these maps, and it's gonna get a lot harder for New York if they don't improve on some of these other maps. Like, especially, people need to use this Apocalypse map, bro. Like, people need to use it to get better. And I think it was in the series. We just didn't get that far.
Yep. So, I mean, shout out to the New York Subliners. Shout out to Dallas Empire for putting on an absolute show. It's always a pleasure watching those two teams go at it. But now we go into our next match. And this was another big one. This one was wild. We have Optic, Chicago going up against Toronto Ultra. And this one really, I just don't understand it. I really thought Optic was gonna come out firing on all cylinders here and just put them to bed. But Toronto, they had different plans and they came to play today.
A couple opening thoughts about this as I wait to see for the vetoes top up here. I think ultimately Toronto played well, and as a rule highlight, there are a lot of mistakes that Optic made on these maps that they just can't. They screwed up a couple of P2s again on raid hardpoint. On their raid control, they just lost map control and just all got blooded in a couple situations. One of my biggest beefs though with Optic right now is the hardpoint auto veto of Garrison, because you think about their matchup against London, right? London's record on Garrison is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I know Optic has had a bunch of tough losses on Garrison, but you're also then now going to square up with Ravens on checkmate. And
which is their best map, right? Isn't that Ravens? Doesn't Ravens they love playing that shit?
What I've been told about Ravens is that they love playing that map. Their record in matches on checkmate isn't great, but it's a map that they like to play. So I think this series kind of ended up in a weird spot with the two teams just tossing out the hardpoint auto vetoes.
You're talking about Ultra, right?
Yeah, we're talking about Ultra. Sorry,
yeah,
not
you said Ravens.
Yeah. My apologies. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he got me confused. I started saying Ravens too.
I got a little bit sideways there, but regardless, on the checkmate veto, it's
we apologize.
Checkmate ending up as a hardpoint pick here. I just would rather have seen them try to square up on Garrison, which we've seen with Ultra, a good side and bad side for them. They're 4-4. They played them up a lot, but we've seen them get blown out. Most recently
I don't think so, Ben.
You think it was a good play to leave checkmate in? I know Optic's
checkmate hardpoint. I mean, dude, it's their best map.
Yeah,
it's their best map, and Optic. These guys are coming into this series with the confidence of they're confident as shit.
They're on top of the world.
Right before this major, they beat the only other team with a record even close to them on checkmate hardpoint. They're gonna play checkmate hardpoint. Mm-hmm. They think they're literally the best team on this map. In their heads, they're there's zero way we lose this map.
Yeah.
I just think though they need to figure out how to. I have a huge problem with teams that just have an auto veto, especially when it comes to respawn.
I agree with you, but
I think it really kind of screws you against certain teams. Would like to see Optic try and mix things up and try and force it onto other maps.
You never want to see an auto veto. You never want to see that.
I mean, there's like the one auto veto I see what teams getting away with right now is the checkmate S&D auto veto, just because if you're a good S&D team, you don't want to play that map, and that's fair. But I think when it comes to respawns, like having an auto veto kind of screws you in a lot of certain matchups where you really can't take out the other team's best hardpoint map. And if you're a good team, then you're just going to play any other of the maps and you'll be good to go.
I mean, we could talk about the vetoes, but Optic, they came out and they won this first map. They clutched up. It got really fucking mixy.
It got pretty tight.
It got mixy. Toronto, they ended up, they played pretty well. Kleenex was unbelievable. This guy was all over the map. Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's fun to watch, man. Kleenex is fun to watch.
When he's playing well, he's so streaky. He's just so hard to kill. He's so fucking annoying too. Like
a rat, dude. He's a rat when he plays.
I was watching him today, and I'm just like, I would lose fucking full if I'm trying to find this guy under the plane or in plane. Like, where is this fucking prick?
Yeah, no, 100%. That guy's nasty. I mean, you see it on the screen. This guy's hopping around like a fucking bunny, popping pieces. So good plays out of Kleenex, man. Toby, if you're watching, good shit today. You guys play really good, but. What do you think went wrong for Optic the rest of the series? I mean, we could touch on this map a little bit, but Optic, they held on strong. And this is exactly, I thought once Optic clutched up this map, I thought because they clutched up, like their confidence and momentum was just going to carry them through the series, but that was not the case at all.
I thought it was the opposite, because like, first off, I think this is Ultra's map pick. I'm not sure if, sorry, I was muted out. I came back, but Ultra picked this map versus Optic, who's been disgusting on this map. So it's like, they make it super close. I think it could have went either way. I think Ultra could have easily won, and it's like, I think, maybe Optic has some confidence, but I think Ultra gets confidence too.
Ultra,
it's like that was a close ass series.
There's no way Ultra was Team A this series.
Yep.
Well, let's see who ended up on good side.
Yeah, Optic gave him to him.
Oh, he gave it to him.
Yeah.
I thought Team A was always white jerseys.
Nah, that's Fugazi. Yeah, that's Fugazi.
Yeah, Toronto picked this map because
Mark's in the chat said we picked checkmate. Yeah, so Ultra picked checkmate. I think that's a testament to the confidence of Toronto. It's just like we're about to square up on their Goliath map, that people think, and it's super close. Could have went to Ultra, and it's like fuck that map. That was super close. Could have went either way. Let's keep it going, and then. I mean, if you're Optic, you can't choke a 5-3 comeback and search, right? Like, you can't choke a 5-3 lead, and some of those rounds obviously super tight, but need to close that out. And as soon as Ultra wins that map, I mean, I was talking to you guys yesterday. I know everybody say, oh, you're on Ultra, it's biased, whatever you say. Like, I was in the TeamSpeak last night. I was saying I guarantee Ultra wins this series. Sometimes you just feel it.
Say that.
like sometimes you just feel it happening, and I think, I think Ultra has a lot to prove, and Optic. I feel like they play Dallas, and it's like, that's a lot different than Toronto, right?
I mean, your team is good, Zin. Like, even when you were on the roster, like, it was just always a matter of getting everyone to play well at once, because there'd be points where you were consistent. Now you have Insight, who's just playing consistently. Cammy, who's always been like a star. He's always been the one making like the crazy plays. It was always Bance and Kleenex. If you can get both of them playing well, right, then your team is dangerous on all game modes, because you guys are really good at search, and you guys are good at every single game mode if those guys are all playing well.
I've said it before. I think the Ultra FaZe matchup, which we'll see tomorrow, is a super tight matchup. Like what you said, like when Toby and Ben are firing on all cylinders, like what Cam's going to provide, Insight's going to be consistent. So it's like it's scary for FaZe. Like, by any means, I'm not saying FaZe are scared or they should be scared, but like, I think this win for Ultra is just a huge confidence booster going into.
100%.
I mean, the only thing I'll say is against FaZe, they've had I think there was one respawn they played that was close, but all the other respawns they played in the two matchups haven't been close. Ultra did win that one impressive rate S&D against FaZe, but all the other maps in that series were blowouts. So
this guy was fine.
I think it would be an interesting matchup, but I do think FaZe are probably still favorably hovered there.
I mean, I think FaZe are
heavily favored
versus any single team. No, I didn't think. I truly didn't think Optic was like the clear-cut favorite going into the series. If you're basing it off numbers, sure, but like I said it last time, I feel like 2 through 12 are super close to where like you don't know what's going to happen.
They really are.
And I mean, I obviously I watch scrims. I know when my team's on form, and they've been playing super well. So I knew Optic was going to struggle in this series, and well, they did.
Yeah, I mean, I think the map sets kind of collide pretty good. I know your team plays a lot of raid, Optic plays a lot of raid, so a lot of chances there for teams to score up on their best maps, and that can cause some interesting parity between two teams.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, we could watch the end of this and just kind of see what happened, what went wrong with Toronto. Toronto looked like they were in full effect here. They had control of this last hill. It looks like they were locking down some time. They did take the lead here, and then again, it's just going back into that P1 hill. Optic just does a good job just staying alive and just
P1, bro. P1 is so hard to break.
It's so hard.
Especially in a match where like the comms are like just super like on par, and you just always know what you need to pick up, and it's like you have to flood those wood steps, which is essentially a death trap unless someone world stars, or you can try going under the plane or working one of the wings, but it's like you have people on the wings on head glitches, like either playing for info or challenging you. So it's like it's super hard. You kind of need someone to bail you out. Like you literally just need someone to shit on someone in order for you to break that P1. And then P2 is sort of like obviously a sketchy hill, right? You're banking on the same thing. Someone to shit on someone, or someone to sneak through, or make a big kill.
P2 and P1 always like tie into each other, because if you hold P1 on the good side, you're obviously going to get spawns. But even if you can break P1 towards the end of P2, that just gives you a lot of map control to work with when the second hill pops.
Yeah.
So you have a lot more attempts. But on P1 in general, like you were talking about how this
P4
map plays
P5, right? P4 P5, you chain it, and then you go back to P1
P3,
and then
P4,
P1 P2
P3, P4
and then
as well.
P3 P4. It's just
they all tie.
It's literally a map of chains.
Do you think teams kind of chalk P5 a little bit too early and don't fight the guy on wing, and they basically just get forced to flood through stairs and long, instead of fighting through old time and then being able to get some stacks control and maybe set up to try and push the other team back or hit a pinch? What do you guys think?
What hill?
So I'm saying like a situation where Toronto got in here, right? So like on the P5, they basically don't fight this guy on wing, and they give Optic control of watching both sides of the plane. Instead of fighting through old and then trying to kill the guy wing, they're forced to go through stairs and long, which are just really tough gunfights to win.
Yeah, I was gonna say the best way to break this hill is you have to drag the people out of plane to start focusing like people on the outside. So whether that's like getting underneath the plane or trying to get through one of the lanes, because you have to think that like 2 or 3 people are always gonna be stacked about like around the plane, right? So why just headbutt into the plane? Why not try to drag those players out of the plane by hitting through and isolating one of the players that's holding the outside area of the the plane?
I was gonna say, it's like instead of making like plays in the hill, make plays around the hill. Like make plays around the hill and just kind of put Optic on their toes where they have to look at more things. And then another thing for Optic on this side, like they don't have to chow anything either. Like they have the power here. Like they just need to sit here. They have the spawns to next. Like all they need to do is contest and sit here and preem. Like Toronto is forced to make a play.
Yeah, and you like what Scump is doing there. Scump was actually pushed out P4, so he's forcing all of Toronto to basically flood through wood. And then that also like ties into this P2. Like although he dies, as soon as P1 ends, he has position towards the front of the hill, so he can funnel every single Toronto player through the left side of the map and crossfire with the guy on hill and the guys holding like the green tube area. So Toronto's just screwed at that point, obviously.
Yep, they're fucked. Good play, good map one at Optic. Big map out of King Scump. He dropped over 30 kills, so they came out good. They came out hot. They clutched up, and then things started to fall apart for them a little bit. This S&D was got a little mixy. I really want to talk about that 5-5 round because Toronto hit the fucking the double reverse sweep. Did you guys see that shit?
Yeah. Rotate.
I was kind of losing full a little bit because I was like low key. It almost fucked them. It almost messed them up, but I mean they won the round, so you know it worked. It got a little scary. Definitely got a little bit scary, but
there are a couple of mixy rounds in here. This round where Formal gets kind of a pretty nasty 1v2 where he gets that wallbang on the guy was weak.
Yeah. This was this was insane.
Yeah, we'll go back and watch it.
Wait, he ran out of ammo there too, right? Like that was.
I think it was his last bullet.
Yeah, look at this.
I think it was, but he's got a secondary anyway. Insight picks up a big 2-piece here. He goes down, Nah, it wasn't his last bullet. He just killed him. That was crazy, though.
He stopped shooting at exactly the point he got the kill.
Bro,
did he know that he was there, or did he just, like, hit him by accident?
I mean, I'm assuming he had an idea because Insight just got the 2-piece there.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. Me and our assistant coach were talking about that. I was like, did he get lucky or did he like get a call out that he was there? We had no idea.
That's a bit of luck because realistically, Formal had no other play. Like as soon as he got done killing that first guy, if he didn't kill the second guy literally at the same time, he's not clutching the round. So
yeah, I mean,
you would like to see Toronto split like right after they got that kill and make like separate from each other.
Yeah, if he didn't know he was there, those good shots. I mean, just good plays for Matt. Good plays. They go up 3-2. What happened here? This was an offensive round for Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto loses round. It gets kind of funky all played out, and you guys let me know when you want to stop it.
No, just let it go. It just seems like they're trying to slow play. I mean, Optic has all the information. They're pushed up on A. They know nobody's there. You got a guy sitting watching middle, all the way in the back, so they know they got to be pushing B here. Like if you're Optic, you know that you're in the clear. Somehow Bance just walks onto this site though and gets it down. That was a little weird. It's like I don't think did Optic know they were in there. They had to have known.
No, they didn't. They had no idea. They had 3 people A.
There's nobody. They're at pushed up A. They know no one's there. You got a guy looking at mid. You see nothing. You got to think that they're pushing through B. No.
You can always assume they're mid, like they're middle. Well, actually, no.
Somebody's watching it. Somebody's holding it.
Yeah, you're right, because somebody was on top of the yellow.
That was just a weird round to me, bro. They clutched it up. It doesn't, it don't fucking matter. But they clutched it up. So good plays that opted to clutch up, but it got a little mixy. I know when you let a team get a bomb down like that for free, it could always get a little weird, man. You flip the switch. It puts Toronto in the power, but Optic do a good job staying composed and breaking the site, getting the defuse, and then we go on to the next round. Toronto end up winning this, and then this is when Optic go up 5-3, correct? And they end up losing it. Which if if you're Optic Gaming, if you're Optic Chicago, you can't let that happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they're kicking themselves for that one. I saw Envoy tweet after the match. He said, that was a throw. So they're feeling it. They felt like they gave that one away.
There are situations in this map, and we'll talk about the third map and fourth map where we've talked about time and time again on this show, Tom, like especially in 4v4, you make that 1 or 2 mistakes that makes the 1 or 2 kill difference, whether it's an objective based thing or a rotation or an S&D clutch, and that's where you just lose control of the momentum or the map.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then good plays by Optic here, good shots out of Dashy. You just kind of retake the site. And then after this, I mean, you can just fast forward it, Ben. Fast forward it to the next couple rounds. I mean, after this, it's kind of what happened here. How did it fall apart for Optic?
This round was wild. There were a lot of quick trades. I think that happened.
I know Ben picks it up. I was scrimming, but I know so right now Ben's 2-8. He ends 6-8, so he finds 4 kills within these next 3 rounds, which is
blood too.
Big. I mean, yeah. So this is my first time seeing this round. Kleenex. So it's a 3v2 right now.
Optic needs to close it out here with numbers. They have to. What did they decide to do here? And
like each player from Ultra's on a different bomb site. You have 1A, 1B, so it's kind of like if Optic just triple a site. I mean, it's obviously hindsight. How the hell are they supposed to know where people are? But
they're doing a good job of clearing all the angles, though. So this should be unwinnable.
So that's what happened.
I was scrimming, so I didn't watch this. But good lord.
Yeah, the shot punch of death. That's tough. That's really tough. I guess it's just what are you gonna do? I mean, Scum jumped in and got shot punched.
And then he got a kill on the guy crossing too. Cammy did well there.
Good play by Cammy. I mean, Cammy doesn't get 2 there. It's hasta la vista. They're done.
Even Kleenex got 1 when he ran into 2 of them before Form betrayed him.
Wow, that's crazy. Optic should have closed out this fucking map. That's crazy, bro. That is a throw. Wow.
Let's just see. Well, they have defense. Defense is obviously favorable. We got to see how this round unfolds. I didn't watch, so.
Takes his position. He finds first blood. Big trade from Ben.
This is good. That works.
3v3 situation. Matt gets picked. That's a 3v2. Toronto just uses their numbers here, probably. Did they rotate this back? Toronto loves to do this shit. They love to rotate the site. Envoy gets picked out to 3v1. And then take it to the 5-5, Ben. This is where things get a little mixy here. What's the problem?
No.
How did Formal find himself mid there?
I was about to bring that up. I was like, how do you guys feel about that rotation play here?
I need to see how he found himself mid there after they got the trade in the site.
He just pushed Eskies.
He just pushed it out.
And then what did he do after? He just sat here?
Yeah.
Oh, he just got picked.
I feel like you'd want to go like group of your teammates and head out the back.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like he should just not have been there. Like he should have definitely been with his teammates or moved somewhere. He's sitting out in the open. He's just asking himself to give himself bad timing in a spot that literally he's basically not really watching anything.
Yeah, he was just caught in mid-map. He had to watch his gold too. Like nobody had it, so he's kind of pushed up into a bad position, but ended up tossing it. Now this round gets a little fucking mixy, bro. I don't know what the fuck I was watching here. Bans, he picks up a blood. Good play by Bans to come in and get the first blood. Then they decide to wrap. So now you see number 8. That's going to be Scump. He's going to wrap back. He's going to pick up mid-map. Toronto, they're going to wrap this bomb back. Did Scump got the worst timing in the fucking world, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Wait,
got the worst timing in the world. What the fuck? Motto, did you guys see that shit?
Tom, their initial, though, was already, like, sketch. They had Envoy on the brick wall alone, and he had zero, and I mean zero help. Yeah. Like, not a single person in a tradable position there.
I mean, even if Seth saw him, he might have saw him. I can't really tell by looking at it. Seth might have saw him, but he was out, like, with 2 people coming down Escape, he probably would have got peeled. He probably would have got peeled off that heady, so it wasn't a bad play to back up. When they started wrapping the bomb, they rotated. Toronto rotated back. And then once they hit the double back to A, I was like, yo, like they might get caught out here in this 5-5. Like it made me a little worried. I'm not going to lie. Especially
how are they set up here?
Look at Envoy. Envoy's on the brick wall, and his player, this just, I don't agree with it at all.
Formal backs up.
It's not even that he backs up. It's that these are like not helpable. If Envoy gets backed up, then they're screwed. And then if Formal gets back down, which he didn't even take shots yet, Envoy's just basically screwed. At this point, you're relying on Envoy to bail you out and win a 1.
Yeah, he's singled out.
100%.
He's pretty much fucked.
Yeah, you would have liked to have,
done.
Optic did it in one of the earlier rounds. They had a good setup here. They had one guy on this brick wall and one guy playing the pocket right where Vance is basically looking at, and they basically just teamed it. Instead, they went to this setup, and it just bit them in the ass.
I mean, it goes back to what I said. I said this a couple weeks ago with Optic and their S&D. I was like, Envoy likes to make plays. So if he's gonna make a play and he's gonna push up on the map, he needs people with him. Like they need to do something together. It just seemed like they didn't right there.
They almost had a window for Formal to get this trade though. As he was coming around the corner to go help out Dashy over here in the alley, like they could have gotten that insta trade and then it would have been a little bit mixy. But yeah, agreed.
One of those things where if you're gonna have a player push up on the bombs or push up on that site, you need to have somebody else with them. And if somebody on your team's gonna play passive, then the other guy also needs to play passive, and you got to rely on a retake at that point.
Like right there, bro. When they doubled back again, I said, bro, Scump could get a 2 here. That got a little risky, but they get good shots out of Cammy, by the way. The beam Seth right off the heady right there. That was a huge win.
Yeah, Cammy did well by that, man. He had awareness, because if he would have turned his back and just started going up Eskies, that's a potential 2-piece.
Yeah, and then you just have Toronto holding the side. At that point, Bomb's down, 3v2 situation. They tie it up at 1. Again, got to be a map that you think Optic closes out, especially after being up 5-3, right? I mean, you want to see them close that out, so that's got to be frustrating. And then we go into the control, and again, this was another one where Optic, they kind of let it go. I feel like they throwed it a little bit. Especially that one round when Toronto was on the offense, they clutched it at the last second coming through Laundry. We'll watch it back, obviously, and we'll break it down. But any thoughts going after this map? Anything that caught your eye?
This is just a weird map. I felt like there were a couple times where Toronto just left Optic players. There was a situation where Scump was top art for like a minute, 2 minutes. There was another situation where Envoy was basketball for at least a couple of waves of kills. And yet Toronto was able to clutch up, get the other kills on the map, push up, and get map control. It was a very weird raid control, Tom.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, we'll watch through it. But what do you think? What do you think is the main thing here? I think on at least the defense that I saw, Optic choke. It just seemed like they got picked. They weren't playing their lives and didn't play together.
No, they
overchowed.
Yeah.
I mean, so I was scrimming, like I said, during the series. So
a lot of mistakes.
When Ultra was up 2-1. Optic gets a full 4 down. I think they have like 11-7 life lead. They have him spawning mansion. Brandon gets first blooded from driveway. He's in like this left heady over here. You'll see it later. I don't want to skip too far ahead.
I'm skipping through to get to next part. Go ahead, Tin.
But so Brandon dies. Insight finds one, just opens up the site completely, and then Optic are like scrambling. They're all out of place. Brandon needs to play his life ring there, throw some shoulders, or even just at least chow that more confidently, so where you're actually watching driveway. I'm not sure if you guys know what I'm talking about.
It's I know what you're talking about. I think remember
it's Cammy peeks driveway, and he literally shoots like 3 bullets into the head of Dasher. He falls, and I remember watching it, and I was just like toward the tail end of it, and I was like, well, this is going to a last round because force down for Ultra, and they're all spawning mansion. They need to get A, so it's just like a pretty impossible situation that they somehow win.
The number 7 Envoy stays alive from this point on for quite a while, and I'll let this play out, and you guys can kind of watch. Everybody's saying one in the chat, guys. I'm trying to skip to the rounds that are relevant here. We got a lot of games to cover. We'd love to watch all the games, but otherwise we'd be here for
guys,
like 3 hours.
We could break down every second, but we'll be here fucking forever. We still got 2 series after this. The most important things. Yeah, the most important things. This got a little mixy. I want to bring up this tweet that I saw. Obviously, everybody's a fucking coach these days on Twitter, but somebody tweeted it and he ended up deleting it, but I brought it up on the screen. But somebody was complaining about Envoy being in basketball for like 40 seconds or something and saying he was useless there and a bunch of shit.
It's a good play at Envoy.
Yeah, it's a great play. Alec ended up coming in. He said it's actually is doing something. He's blocking close spawns, making Ultra spawn on the other control point. Nice try, though. You'll get it next time. So, guys, I understand that you guys want to see your team win.
To be fair, Tom, that doesn't block it. Just being by the point blocks it. But I do agree that he should have basketball, because if you don't have basketball, you better have money, or like you get top control of their L. You have to get one or the other one capping that point. If you just like sit on the point and basically do nothing, you're gonna get collapsed from either side.
Yeah. Regardless, I was just gonna say. I mean, Envoy just was making a good play. So just to see people.
Yeah, he wasn't making a bad play.
And it was just funny because that kid made that comment. A lot of people were liking it, and I was just like, they're wrong. Like, they're just not right. So
another crazy thing, Tom.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Optic has 2 ticks on B. 1 tick, they win this round. Right there, they just all tried flooding out a bedroom, which is like, I'm not sure if they're saying like they're trying to do it again. I'm not sure if they're like, fuck it, we need 1 tick, fight front, and we'll just get kills. But like, I think they can at least afford, at least for the first wave, go around. Try getting kitchen control, get some kills there, and then collapse. Like, I don't know. Maybe send one person slow play bed. I'm not sure if I agree with a full-on.
I agree, Zen, because Toronto basically didn't attempt to get back control all this round. So if Optic just get kills elsewhere in middle, like they're perfectly set. They've got all of water. They get out of lane, like this should be a free cap. But Toronto do a good job getting up kills. Envoy can't stall for long enough, and then Optic kind of put in the tough situation.
Yeah, and the problem with that too is like you give Toronto like all the information they need, right? Ben gets a kill, he dies, he sees everybody bed, he makes the call, and at that point, like Toronto knows exactly what they need to do. They know exactly what they could push, exactly what they need to look at. It just made they made it easy for Toronto. They made it easy. Yeah.
Going back to
took some routes.
Going back to what you're saying, Zin, I agree. I think they should have literally played for mid control and try to get in kitchen. At that point, since Envoys is a live basketball, Envoys influencing the spawn to spawn laundry. They get that kitchen control, they spawn them deep. Any player that they get, they spawn deep, and they can literally sit there and play the spawn kill or collapse with Envoy, and then force the player's mansion or that are pushed up on the map out.
I mean, to be fair, maybe you have Envoy like calling out, I have him spawning laundry, hit through front. Like obviously we don't know the comms. Like maybe Dylan's directing them to hit front, and maybe I don't know. I still would have liked to see them play for mid. I do kind of get it, right? Because Envoy is blocking the close spawn, so they're all spawning laundry. Maybe they want to go mid because they don't want to take the risk of fighting pillars and middle map because they know that that's where they're going to be flooding. But I mean, you just have time to work with. Like, you need 1 tick. I don't think you need to fucking make a hero play and all hit out the same way. Like I said, like we don't know the comms, but just
they were definitely
play search and destroy at that point.
I was gonna say Zin. I was gonna say
a couple of kills, it's over.
That's the thing, though. Yeah, they're spawning him laundry, but like them spawning laundry, if they get any kill, if they get that one guy mansion, that one guy spawning like laundry isn't gonna even make a difference, because what is he gonna do? He's just gonna cut through pillars because they have 0 map control mid-map. He's gonna cut through pillars and get back to exactly where he needs to be while dodging Envoy. If they get kitchen control, they get direct use out of what Envoy is doing, because then they have options. They can play the spawn kills or collapse on the point. If they go mansion, they have 0 options but to go forward at that point, and they can just continue to dodge Envoy essentially.
Yep.
So I wanted to pause here and talk about this round. So again, this round out playing up in another weird situation where other Optic players in like a really good spot on the map. This time Scump gets to one of his favorite spots here in Art. He's absolutely frying in this map, by the way.
Yeah.
Gets a few more kills
Scump had a great
that.
series. Scump played well.
But again, as Zinni alluded to earlier, a couple of ego chows in some of these team situations end up costing them the B site and then later the A site in this round. So let it play out from here.
Yeah, let it play out. Seth is alone up here. He put some shots down. They got the information. Toronto's doing a split here. They're sending 2 towards the B side and they're sending 2 towards A side. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it ended up working for him. Formal goes down and Scump gets a trade. Now, if you're Optic, you know where you got Toronto. They're all pinned in the back of their spawn. Scump is doing a great job here, just staying alive and being a nuisance on the map. He's wasting time. Kind of what happened here? How did their setup get broke? Did Toronto just get kills?
Yeah, I mean, they still can't kill Scump. He gets a couple of pieces. It's right here.
I remember I'm like, okay, this round's probably over.
It should have been over.
They killed this guy Kitchen. It's like as soon as I saw that 2-piece, I was like, all right, next round. And then somehow I started my scrim, I think, and Ryan was like, we won, we got B, and I was like, what? And Ryan's our assistant coach who sits next to me, by the way. So Optic did well to throw this one away.
I mean, it was here. Yeah. The Envoy and Formal die. They stack the point. Then you're in kind of a good position. If you get this next wave of kills, you're a big chillin', and I'll play that from here.
Yeah, no, they just died bedside. Can
we go back to see, like, I want to see where Scump died after he was like Envoy. He got like the kills and then Envoy died.
Yeah, bring it back.
This is happening.
Also, so right there, they had a 24-17 life lead right there, which is pretty substantial, and they pissed it away by trying to save B. And then it's pretty much like even lives, which I understand trying to save B, but
that's it right here.
I wasn't sure the exact lives.
This is it right here.
Maybe when I like to see Envoy just stay alive top bed after he gets those 2 kills. I mean, he jumps out, gets on the ledge.
Yeah, and then it was also
he did the hard part.
Did you guys watch Seth's arrow?
Yeah, he was in driveway.
Seth before he got the precise information that they were all coming mansion for him for Envoy. He actually peeks and dies to a player watching the flank, which is a good pickup by him, but you'll see it right here.
Yeah, Insight kills him off the spawn if you look at number 8.
So right here, Envoy gets these kills. Okay, great. They're off spawn. This is fine. Right here, before Envoy even gets the information they're hitting him, he tries to pinch and dies right there. Yeah. And now Envoy's dead too. Yeah. Like, it was just unfortunate that both of them had to die at the same time. Yeah. But Seth shouldn't have committed to a pinch until Envoy got the information that they were hitting him. That way, at least your deaths are staggered.
And then right here, I mean, Toronto, they're just stacking the point. I don't think Scump realized that he could be seen right there in that corner he was tucked in. But Cammy got a good angle on him because Seth dying right there and money was big too. And right here, Toronto, they ended up playing a 1 stack right here. They only had one guy on the point, and then they had all the cuts pushed out. But Optic, they decided to chalk it. They just give it up. They may have gave it up a little bit too late. They ended up dying. I understand why they tried to break it because obviously they don't have any ticks. So I don't mind the play of them trying to break it. But then once they die, they go for the chalk. They chalk it up. They look to just hold. They got one guy playing back laundry. They got one guy pushed up in their spawn, a guy mid map. Optic, they got a pretty good setup here. Toronto, they end up pushing through. And this is where things get mixy. The guy dies rock, which is huge, and then this guy laundry Scump, he's fucked, but he's able to pick up 2. But still, now Kleenex in Toronto, they were able to push through and get laundry control. Now all Kleenex needs to do is stay alive and try and be a nuisance. He ends up dying here to Dashy, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he gets taken down. So now if you're Optic, you got a 4 clean dead. You got 45 seconds left on the clock. You're spawning them all back bedroom. This should be a GG.
This is actually insane.
This should be a GG. So right here, Toronto, they all just decide to flood through bedroom. Seth again goes huge. Big plays at a Scump to pick up a big 2-piece. He gets taken down. They just have him pinned. I think Toronto ends up pushing through.
Number 1, he kills Brandon, dies on point.
Great shots at a Cammy here, by the way. Great shots. Cammy's able to pick Dashy.
And then look, they have a guy top laundry and a guy back laundry.
Yeah. Once Dashy dies on the point, it's kind of just like a flood.
Well,
yeah.
Hold on.
I want to see what Scump's doing. Yeah, I want to know what Scump's doing here. I had this marked down to talk about, but I believe he backs up from the situation away for his team, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with that play. I don't know what your thoughts are, Zen. He's still watching the pinch because they don't know where number 2 is at this point.
They just don't know where he went. Yeah. They just don't know where he went, and at this point, I mean,
well, then he backs up further.
Was there a miscommunication there?
No, listen, bro. As soon as Seth's just playing. He's just waiting for his teammates, and then they're going to 2-hit from laundry and 2 pinch around. But as soon as Toronto hops in the 4 stack, it's like, well, now we need to fucking sprint as fast as we can. There's no time for coordination. It's like, just everybody try getting a kill.
He checked jungle, though. He also ran forward and checked jungle.
I think what happens here is number 2, Vance gets the kill, and Tiki. and they're waiting for him to hit this full pinch, and they just have straight up no idea where he is. Formal gives it up, and so now they're like, well, someone could be behind us, and I think that's why Seth goes to pick up the full pinch in jungle, because they have no idea where Bence is on the map, and Bence actually ends up hitting middle, and that's why they just get
what I would have
lost.
liked out of these guys is to have, let's say, Seth play like a tight pinch angle, Formal watch over Dashy top laundry, and then Dashy obviously live on the point. The main blunder there, though, like that opened up the site in general, was granted Cammy hit good shots, Brandon should not have died.
Yeah, you just can't die range. You can't.
The first guy to die on that push had to be the guy in art, if anything.
Yeah.
The guy in art dies, it's not the end of the world. The two guys that were watching the pinch were still helping the guy ring rather than both of them watching the back. And then there's just too many things, too many holes in their setup, and obviously people getting picked where they shouldn't be.
They didn't have a chance to get the, because you want to get information. You want to see where Toronto's trying to hit from, right? So if you get picked and you die right away, people can't come reinforce. They don't have enough time. So them dying ring is just tough, man. Like, you got to stay alive. You got to throw some tight shimmies. Maybe throw in some snakes on those head glitches and just try and stay alive and get the info. Because the minute you snake up that heady or throw a shoulder and you see that Toronto's pushing through laundry, you just give the call to your team that multiple people are coming through laundry and you're good to go. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't even need to play on the point, Dashy. He could have played on top of the ring, which makes the point white. Because if you're sitting on the point and they see that the ring is green, that's just extra information to them that, oh, there's a guy on the point. So that's just going to even like allow them to pick that setup apart even easier.
Yeah, what is Seth's tweet?
Yeah, bring that up, Tommy. I'm pretty sure he got a death glitch. Yeah, no, you have to break your neck to watch it. But,
that's what I'm saying. I can see the shit.
Back.
What the?
He's just gonna take his time.
Yeah, sorry,
work
guys,
this bomb play. Cammy's gonna go and take
the
back.
video. You're gonna have to tell.
He's just gonna take his time.
He gets team shot.
Trying to work this bomb.
Worried about him shooting bodies.
died in a fucking bullet.
Yeah, no, that's a death glitch.
What the fuck?
But he's
I
just
think
gonna take
going
his
back
time.
to talk about the hard
trying to work this bomb play.
We're gonna plan a bunch of plays that happen here. It's just fundamental mistakes that they make on P2 and a couple other hills. Like off the break here, they get the initial hill control, and you'll watch no one from Optic picks up the R pinch whatsoever, and they go down 4 dead here off the break.
I can't believe that death glitch shit is still a thing. I'm surprised that's still a thing in God.
Yeah, death glitch.
The death glitch is annoying, bro. That shit is annoying. Yeah, especially when it's a big kill like that. I just broke my fucking neck trying to watch that video.
Yeah, a little tough.
But yeah, no, right off the rip, Toronto, they just flip out, right? They flip it.
Toronto had good spawns.
They had good spawns, all right.
To open it.
So right here. What's up? No, go ahead, Chris.
If you're not gonna push through the point right away, like off your rip, if you're not just gonna bully ring and try to get through to laundry right away, you need to have people watching your pinch. That's just unacceptable.
Especially if you don't make control, you know, there's 100% spot they're gonna be.
Yeah, if you're gonna play it slow, you have to watch. Pinch.
Real quick, people in the chat are complaining about they don't know what a death glitch is. I see a lot of people asking. A death glitch is when somebody. So say I'm on the bomb, right, and somebody from the other team is shooting at me. Say my teammate kills that guy. For some reason, with that guy shooting at me, it makes his bullet stronger or some shit, and I end up dying in a bullet or two because he just died. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, if somebody's shooting at you and that guy goes down, you die in like a bullet or two. It's called a death glitch. Like sometimes you just die really fucking fast if that person shooting at you goes down.
It's sort of like a weird mathematical issue where I think like bullets end up in between like ticks. And you just get auto blitz, but it's like a weird.
Yeah, all your bullets reg at the same time. All your bullets reg at the same time as you die. Yeah, that's really what it is.
People are confused. I don't know how to explain it. The best way, I guess, what Dan said, it's like when your teammate saves you. The person that's shooting at you ends up getting the kill like very quickly. It's very hard to explain. But we call it a death glitch in COD. It's been in COD for many years. But it's tough, man. Sometimes you just go down. It looks like you get fucking sniped. I mean, the best way to explain it is just go to Seth's Twitter, go to Scum's Twitter, and just go look at the clip. Just look how quick he died.
Yo, Ben, hold on. So I'm assuming since Toronto won P1, they probably won P2. How does Optic not have this hill control? What happened? Like exactly. Like what were the hill spreads here? Like
flipped.
The first hill, right? Toronto did get flipped. Never mind. So I thought Optic lost P2. I didn't get to watch.
Yeah, there was a good play from Toronto. They gave up the back.
They gave it the back. They pushed through. Yeah. Toronto played this well because now they flip Optic out with 18 seconds left, and they get that P3 spawn. And this P3 hill can get locked down really easily. A lot of these hills on raid, if you have spawns for them, you can lock down full 60s with ease. It's not easy at all. Like rotations are really important on this map. So Toronto was just ahead of the game here. He just played this map really well.
I'm heading out.
Yeah,
enjoy the flight, everybody. Tommy, congrats on 9K subscribers. Zoomaa in the chat, my guy.
Appreciate
Happy for you.
Thank you for coming on, Zin. Always a pleasure.
Yep, catch you guys later.
Have a good day.
Well, to that note, Tom, if you look at the top 5 hills by total points scored right now, we mentioned this a couple times on the show, but 3 of the 5 are raids: P2, P3, P4, and raid, Apocalypse P2, and Checkmate P4. So agreed, like. If you just maximize your P2, those middle hills and P5 and P1 are kind of mixy, then you're just gonna get huge leads or make huge swings on the map.
Yeah, this is a map of give and take, and like this goes back to BO2. We used to rotate at like 35 seconds to hills, like hard rotate to them and not feed streaks, because breaking these hills is pretty difficult. But on top of that, if you're trying to break at like 35, chances are you're gonna flip yourself out. So
we actually have Joey DeLuca, aka Merc, in the chat. He said, like I said at Zoomaa, every team is going to be cool playing them on Raid Hardpoint. Any map Dashy can go 18-18, any team will take as a W. It's one of those maps, right, where it's hard to be that superstar. It's gonna come down to just outplaying your opponent, focusing up on those rotations. We've been seeing that. We saw this map back in Black Ops 2, and it was played pretty much the same way. No, Chris? I mean, you played in Black Ops 2. You were world champ.
It was all discipline. Yep. And like, you actually have like 2 of those maps now in the rotation in Apocalypse and Raid, where discipline is gonna like pay off more than just being a superstar. So like, you're gonna see a lot more teams playing some of these like teams that they might necessarily consider they might not necessarily consider, but like at least fans would consider better in respawn than the team they're playing against. Because playing a team on Raid, if you just out-rotate them, my grandma can hold setups on some of these hills. I don't care if you're playing against the best of the best players.
Yep.
So you're going to see a lot more of those maps coming into play when you see like some of the lower-ended teams playing against the higher-ended teams.
Yep. I mean, not even just this map. I mean, it just goes for Call of Duty in general. If a team is playing the map the right way and they're outplaying their opponent, your superstars are going to look way better. It's a lot easier to play the game when you're put in the right situations. That's why there's a lot of teams sometimes. There's a lot of superstar players that struggle, but it's because their team is just not playing well as a team. You see it all the time. So, you know, if you're not outplaying, if you're not rotating, if you're not playing the game the right way, it's very difficult to get going. It is. So you see people struggling. You see Bruce struggling or Seth struggling. I mean, it's pretty tough to get kills when you're getting out rotated, and Toronto's just setting up. They're setting up. They have crossfires. It's like, what else are you supposed to do? You got to try and world star. You got to try and make a play, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. It's a good job by Toronto. Honestly, they played well and they look good, and they played smart. They're obviously on the same page, and they were doing their thing. And then Optic, they bring it back. We're going into a tie game, going into the second rotation. Optic, they have the spawns going into the next one. Dashy would have killed. Scup was making big plays mid-map, trying to keep him off. But if I remember correctly, they go down. Big nades coming out. Big kills coming out from Toronto.
They get flipped on the P2. That was a good play from Bance to get the last kill.
Instantly broke.
Yeah, and I believe, if I remember correctly, that Optic get broke on this P2, so we'll play it out and see kind of where.
Well, right there, you just saw number 7 just run out, and he spawns them out. Look, go back.
Yeah.
Number 7 actually just engages P1 when Optic is literally not even like ready to hit the hill whatsoever. He instantly dies and spawns out.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it's shocked.
You're talking about when he hit that blue van? When he hit the blue van?
Yeah, he hit the blue van by himself.
Yeah, he hit it by himself, and he ends up spawning out.
They still retain it. Wait, actually, right here, look at him.
Yeah, he hits it by himself. He gets bodied, and then he ends up spawning deep. And Toronto, they recognize it. They start pushing forward. As soon as they get kills, they start pushing up the map. They're trying to get this flip, and it's just too easy. I mean, Optic, they have full control of that P1 hill. Granted, they break it back, but that should have been a big hold.
Actually, you guys didn't even notice this. I don't think you guys noticed this. So look at the route Envoy took off spawn. All right, so look, he spawns. There's 2 spawns. There's the close ramp spawn, and then there's the garage spawn. The reason they flipped instantly was because, look, Envoy's going to spawn in the back garage, and instead of going through mid and opening up the spawns again, he comes and blocks this close ramp spawn, which opens up the jungle spawn for the other team.
Yeah.
If he would have ran up mid, that flip is way less likely to happen, rather than him wrapping towards the ring.
I can also see it from both ways, though, because he also can flood and work a pinch and get some of his time. There's still some time left on that hill, so he might be knowing what he's doing right there. Like, Envoy might know that he's blocking that spawn and that they're probably gonna spawn behind him, but he's just trying to make a play because there's still a lot of time in that P1 hill, and he probably doesn't want to let it go.
This isn't even the end of the world. Look at their setup here. I think can re-break this.
I think that was calculated from Envoy. It might not have been the right play, but I think he knew what he was doing. And again, Optic, they have the back spawns here now. They have to work a break. Toronto, they're trying to hold through the front. Cammy ends up getting a kill. Optic, they get 2 down. They end up getting in this hill. Do they break this? They do. So they break
it.
it.
First kill. This is perfect. This is good.
So this is looking good for Optic. They get some time back on that P1. Envoy, he comes out. He pinches the hill. They get the kills. They get the last few bit of that time. And then over here, they're trying to build their lead. They're holding from the back. Toronto, they come in and they break this again. 3 clean dead. A guy comes on the pinch, and they lose a lot of time there. Optic loses a lot of time.
They just get trades, and I think number 2 just wins a big gunfight. Oh, Scump gets some bad timing. Go look at number 8. I think just because the chaos in the front, he just turns around. And
Scump gets really bad timing, but also the people in Kitchen are just not helping each other. They allow Kleenex. The people in Kitchen aren't helping each other. They allow Kleenex to slide in and kill the guy pillar while the other guys on the back door are just sitting in the corner doing nothing.
And then if you're Optic right here, you're still not looking too bad. You're gonna you lose the lead. You're probably gonna be down by like 10, 15 points. But they have rotation. Does it fall apart here? I don't remember.
They fucked up already. So they had plenty of time to still have players
pushed up.
Pushed up art.
Yeah.
Because at this point, they don't give themselves an opportunity. You need to cling on to one spawn on this hill, right? You got to either cling on to the AC spawn that's by the garage or the water side of the hill, or you got to cling on to the art spawn. And they had time to actually have players to layer themselves at least around art, and they just all backed up.
They bounced back though. They got the kills. The Toronto, they're all spawning out. They know exactly where all Toronto is. Because you have somebody, that's number 5, that's going to be Formal. He's pushed out bedroom, so he's just calling to his team, like, listen, they're not coming here. They're going to be either mid or left. Coming from Jim. Matt's making a good play, honestly, just being better and picking up some kills. Optic, they get a good hold here.
Wow, I'm mind blown they hold that.
Yeah, they get a good hold. They get all this time. I think it gets really mixy when it goes over to the basketball hill. We know how hard it's nearly impossible to break that basketball hill. When you go into that P4 hill, it is tough. This P3 hill is breakable because if you pinch out both spawns and you get a kill or two, you end up spawning them out. So it's a pretty easy hill to break, honestly, in my opinion. I see a lot of teams breaking it, but this basketball hill, Toronto does a good job. They stay disciplined here. They don't get overzealous on that P3 hill. They end up rotating. Optic, they do a good job getting some kills. Envoy, he picks up a big kill, but if I remember correctly, he's gonna spawn them right there. Yeah. So the Toronto, they hold their cams. Now right here, it's 222 to 168 in favor of Optic. Toronto, they bring this game right back by just getting a full 60 here, and then it gets really mixy on that last hill. So Toronto, they come here, they get a good hold. It's very difficult to break this basketball court hill. It's super hard. You just really got to try and world star people coming through the front of that hill, work through Kitchen. I mean, Parasite was talking about it before. You got to get Kitchen control, try and get some kills in Kitchen and try and collapse on the hill. But, I mean, again, Toronto, they're just picking up kills, and it's hard to break, man.
They screwed up, so what you need to do on this hill is you want to 3-1 split it. Whether you're going 3 kitchen and 1 guy front or 3 kitchen and 1 guy laundry, what they opt to do here is they already have 1 player around laundry, right? So ideally you want to see the rest of his team go kitchen so that way when they get the kills, the guy laundry and then the guy that's in kitchen can inadvertently block the spawn in the back by looking out the back door. Instead, they send 2 guys kitchen, they leave the guy laundry to take a 1v1, and number 5 is basically useless here if you watch him. Number 5 is doing absolutely nothing. So they get these kills in kitchen, but the guy laundry goes and is basically useless, and then number 5 dies. Like he did nothing for their team there on that push.
I mean, he went front. What was he looking at? Was he looking at money? I couldn't tell. I don't know what he was doing front Tiki. I don't know.
He basically did nothing for them essentially. And if they would have gone kitchen, they would have got a lot more use out of Scump back laundry because they would have actually probably been able to trade him out.
No, 100%.
But regardless, you have to 3-1 split.
In this situation, and we'll watch it out. Look at number 1. Cammy actually makes 2 really interesting plays. He kills the guy Zig. Instead of hitting Zig, he actually goes around and hits water. So a totally unexpected play. And those 2 kills actually end up being the difference here.
I like it. He takes his time. He goes all the way around. He knows that he needs to make a route to break this hill because they can't just flood through because they're going to get funneled, especially if Optic's on all those rock headies in the middle of the hill like they're done. Cammy takes his time, goes all the way around, gets the kill, and then wraps back to water and opens up that spawn back there. So Optic, they end up spawning back there, and he comes back and meets up with a teammate, water stairs.
How did he get there in the first place?
So
how did he get towards art?
I want to point I think he spawned over here.
He hit it. He spawned. Yeah, he just hit it early. It's just a good play.
Yeah, it's a really good play.
There's another situation I want to point out, which is how Envoy dies, because he plays a corner here in square, and they actually slide out of the kitchen like almost shot at, and he actually gets killed.
Because nobody has ring.
I think number 8. Yeah, I think number 8 goes to pick up ring and doesn't watch kitchen.
Yeah.
He's trying to watch both right now.
Yeah.
They do shoot at each other and just slides out. Yeah.
That might have been a miscommunication
that
there.
was miscommunication.
Yeah,
100%,
that might have been a miscommunication. It looks like number 8 is looking at ring, and Envoy right here, he's got to be calling out that he's got ring, right? Like he's got to be saying it.
Yeah, 100%.
But I guess, even though Envoy has it, like the problem here with Optic setup is nobody has ring. They don't have anybody ringside.
Look, number 5 just spawned there. And look, he's still looking there. Look, right before Envoy dies, Scump spawns ring, and 8 is still looking towards pillars, even though Scump
the minute they get that spawn, they should turn. The minute that spawn comes in and he spawns close to ring like that, they should know that no one's probably there.
Hold on, look, watch this. I'm pretty sure 8 even shoots at player's kitchen. Look, you'll see this.
He does.
So he spawns, he shoots.
Envoy doesn't even
then
turn.
Then he stops looking.
Envoy doesn't even turn.
Cam made a good play, but that is...
That's weird.
I almost want to say that's on number 8.
I can't tell what happened. I mean,
he has a sub.
He has a sub on the rock.
He
has a sub on a rock, and he can't do anything there. Like if Scump's holding that with a sub, I mean that's kind of that sucks right in itself. Scump's the one on the hill looking at. He's in an AR spot.
That's unfortunate. I still would have liked to see him maybe just commit and just try to get one, or like
slide to like the close stairs on like
or
the color
something
side and
like
try and get more
I didn't realize 8 had a sub until I obviously looked at the name right there, but that's just so unfortunate because ideally you want your AR player there, you know, like even off the rip you had Scump there, right? And the player that died Zig was number 5. I think number 5 was Dashy or Formal. So you could have maybe had them switch positions like early if you had a chance, but that's just so unfortunate.
I mean, we already talked. I see people in the chat talk about Cammy's flank. Guys, we talked about it. Maron, you listening? The class is in session. You guys are listening. Detention. For whoever said that in the chat. We said that. Cammy, he makes a good play. He wraps all the way around. He picks up a kill, and not only does he go all the way around, he wins a big gunfight. He wins a big win. I mean, if he did, this is a gunfight, straight up 1v1. If he doesn't win this, it's a whole different ball game. Because now Optic, they get the one guy pinched and they have all Toronto funnels. So Cammy wins a big gunfight, wraps all the way back through water, opens up that spawn again, and then they just collapse on the hill. So a lot of things went wrong. You got the guy losing the 1v1 on the Zig side around the back. You got miscommunication mid-map. You have Scump on the main heady with a sub. The setup was just, it wasn't looking good.
Number 5, Formal, he also didn't really have any sense of urgency when he spawned, because he spawns up, right? And he still posts up and like looks towards pillars, and then he ends up double backing to Art. If he would have spawned up like there, he should have just been instantly either running towards Art where he just died to try to like find Cammy, or he should have just been literally full sprinting at pillars trying to get towards them to help, because he just had no sense of urgency in that play at all.
Yep, no, 100%.
Cam was super hype after this. It's super claps. So talking next steps for both these teams, we're going to have FaZe going to play Ultra, and we talked about it. I think that's a tough match for Ultra. And then Optic now, and we'll get to the Seattle series. They're now going to play a Seattle team that's got a little bit of momentum. They're playing a little bit better, doing a lot of Persini. I'm very interested to see how that match plays out, because Seattle's looked pretty solid as of late.
The fuck is this shit on Discord? I don't know what it is.
Wait, we still have 2 more matches?
Yeah, we still got 2 more matches.
This has been going on forever. I'm sorry, Ben. Your head's big as fuck.
All good. So we'll get to this Steve's London match. I believe first map was London's pick. Let me find the vetoes for this.
Dude, I can't, today was such a long day of COD, guys, that even me watching back these games, I just forgot about some of the stuff that happened. So when you watch COD, bro, all day, my brain was fried after watching it all and just breaking down a bunch of things. I mean, luckily Ben writes some notes down. I gotta start taking some notes as well with you, Ben. But I mean, when you watch so many series like this, you get lost in the sauce a little bit. But it's good to see Toronto get hyped like that, right? They got a lot of energy. They got a big match ahead of them. They got FaZe coming up, so that's not going to be an easy matchup for them. But good job by Toronto. And if you're Optic, you got to think that some of these maps could have been closed out. So you know they're frustrated. They got to go back. I'm sure they're watching back film. I know they're talking about it. You know how those guys are. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we know how talented they are. So they're still in the tournament, and they still can make a run. So thank you to Toronto Ultra, Optic Chicago for a good match. And then we go on to the next one. We got London Royal Ravens going up against LA Thieves. And again, this one was another mixy one. This one was crazy. I mean, you have LA Thieves who have been looking, let's be honest, they haven't been looking good. They make a team change. They end up picking Venom. They end up picking Jaza up. They move Slasher over to the bench. They come out hot. They win a series 3-0. It was very unexpected. They come out. They start looking good. And then in this series against London, they go down 0-2, and you're like, Ma, don't tell me this. You know, like was it just a one-hit wonder, that one series? But then they end up bringing it back, and they show a sign of composure, which is exactly what you like to see out of a top team like 100 Thieves. A little bit of composure. You know what I'm saying? So it was just great to watch. It was great to watch.
So I think the one thing that stood out to me in vetoes, Thieves have played a lot of Moscow Hardpoint, but I guess with this new team, they mix up their vetoes a little bit, banning out Moscow Hardpoint on the Thieves side. So I believe London picked first map Apocalypse. It's a pretty interesting set. And yet, Tom, I think a great momentum grabber for Thieves. Suddenly now they're 2 wins on the bounce with the squad, and they're coming up against a New York team that's coming off a tough loss to Dallas. I think if you're Thieves, you're now top 8. Congrats. You've done the bare minimum of what you need to kind of stay in this race for champs, and now everything from here is just one series at a time, bonus series, and see how far the team can take it.
I got people in the chat. Some guy said to skip these next 2 series. A bunch of trash teams. I'm gonna be honest. 2-12, anybody could win. It's anybody's game right now, buddy. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's very hard to make predictions these days. I mean, our predictions have been way off the last few days. None of us have been hitting these predictions on the nose. I think the only team that really shows themselves ahead of the pack right now is FaZe. So you can say whatever you want.
They lost to LAG.
And they lost to LAG. I mean, you can say whatever you want about some of these teams and their rosters on paper, but people are coming out to play. And people are saying a lot of good things, or we're seeing a lot of good things from a lot of these teams. So anything could happen, man. This is fucking Call of Duty. You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
So I think the story on this first map, and we've talked about a lot in this show, about P2 Apocalypse is really hard to break, and agreed that I think this tweet hell needs some tweaks. But London broke P2's, I believe, twice on this map, both from they start off the bad side of this map and they broke, and then they get on the second rotation when they had held P5. So,
which you don't see often.
Very interesting for London, man. I know they lost this series, but a good positive sign. This team can start to be a really good Apocalypse team. It's going to force teams to have to game plan against London on this map and maybe ban it out, and we'll give them a few more avenues in terms of advantageous map pool and vetoes.
Yep, no, 100%. I think the P2 breaks is really important to talk about on this map, just simply because of how easy it is to hold that hill.
Yeah.
Some of these breaks just can't happen, right? So just watching it back. I also want to give a huge shout out to Kenny, because he's running the main AR role now. And a lot of people are all up in arms. People are coming at Jake Cap saying a bunch of stupid shit. I think Kenny, he looks phenomenal on the main AR. He really does. I think the Krig just fits him. He could just ego chow shit and just go rogue and just slide cancel preem things, and it just fits his playstyle. He's fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch, and he's got a fucking lightsaber.
Yeah, let's say Kylo Ken. Guys bringing out
Kylo Ken. This guy's on a whole nother level. No shot. He can run an AR. No shot. Jake Cap's in the chat. Cap, I want to get you on the show, Cap. You're a wise man. You're a very wise man, but I know you're focused up on the tournament. You got to do what you got to do. But one day we got to get you on, Cap. People want to see you come on. What's up, Chris?
I want to say about the P2. I started playing this more in scrims, and the P2 break, I actually believe heavily ties into playing P1 well if you're on the bad end, because that's your best chance of flipping out players is on P1 going into P2. You got to force them into your P1 setup, and then as soon as you get any kills, since the spawn is so deep, they start flipping if you get even relatively close to the temple side of the map.
Yep.
That's literally the only way.
I'm gonna put the listening up real quick. I want to take a listen.
You want to go back, Tom?
Yeah, you're good.
Mid, absolute back mid. He's front our spawn. He's on the boxes, front P5. They all spawn. They're all on the boxes. Another one there, bro. Player kills. Alright, I'm praying P5 already. They're in P5. I'm praying it top. Looking top P5. Okay. Low Dylan. Good P10. Okay. I'm gonna top, I'm pretty sure. I hear you. Look, are you top?
Yeah, top Johnny.
I got Nate top. In the back. I hit him with Nate top. I'm right, this guy top.
I spawned half wall. I spawned half wall.
Yo, top mid. Top mid. One more is they're low. I'm a pitch low. Top.
What are we doing here exactly? Listening. It's interesting listening. I think Tom, they're trying to set up a break. It's a little bit hectic.
All right, here, I'll lower since you guys are talking over it. But, I mean, to be honest, a little hectic, but I like the energy. I like the energy because it just seemed like it was something that they didn't have beforehand with us on the team. I don't know what it was. They just seemed dead. It just seemed like when they went into listenings, they were depressed. Now it seems like they have a lot of energy and they're passionate. They want to win this shit. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that. Now, granted, it sounded a little hectic. Let's be honest. It sounded like a bunch of fucking ducks quacking. Bunch of quacking ducks. But, I mean, at the same time, I like it. I like the fact that they're coming up with some energy. They had a big lead. They're doing what they had to do. You want to see them just calm down the cons. Maybe somebody just needs to step up. Maybe Kenny just needs to be like, you know, calm down. Everybody calm down for a second. Everybody take a deep breath. So definitely a little hectic, but at the same time, it's nice to hear some passion coming from these guys and to see some smiles on their faces because it's clearly showing that they're coming out to play, and then they want to make a statement. These guys want to definitely make a statement. So,
so basically, Dylan spawns out and pitches it back and flips him back, which is interesting play. Did with about 30-ish seconds left. So London then don't have the spawns for P1, P2. But London do actually do a good job of making next two hills mixy and taking advantage of it. I don't know about your guys' thoughts on that pinch. I
don't agree with it.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah,
play.
I don't agree with it because now you're forced to break right here. Yeah. And granted, they do break, so good plays out of London to get the break. But at the same time, it was a little risky because if they don't break this, 100 Thieves can run away with this shit. So it's just big plays out of London. They end up pushing the scrap. They get the scrap. Dylan ends up flipping him out with the pinch. Yeah. But London, they bring it right back. Not only do they get the scrap, they're able to flip it out right away. So, I mean, good plays out of London to clutch up right there because things were looking a little rough. Shawnee was able to pick up some streaks.
Shawnee fried this map.
Yeah, he was doing his thing. Shawnee was doing his thing. You gotta feel for London a little bit because they've been struggling this year and they go up 2-0 and they get reverse sweep. So, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it seems to have been their shortcoming. We've seen a lot of times this year where they haven't been able to close out a series or map. I think a recent one that stands out to me was that series against New York where they went up with like 5-1, 5-2 on the Express and they couldn't close. Just something that the team has to work on. I think they found a good collection of talent. They play well, they slay well. Obviously, the series against FaZe aside, like I think they finally found a really good sub duo for Dylan with Zed. I think Shawney's really good. And obviously we've seen a lot from Paul X since he joined the team. So they just need to get some collective experience and just get a little bit more reps and trying to close out these maps. And I think they'll start to get a little more consistency in their wins here.
It's actually two majors that they've lost last map to get knocked out of the tournament. The first one was with us, with our new pickup of Zed. And once again, same thing happened. Same map, by the way, Moscow.
I think the main thing with London is their subs. I just feel like sometimes there's just some inconsistencies. I just feel like they need to find some consistency in their gameplay. It's just the main thing for me. They're both very talented. Zed and Dylan are both very talented. It's just finding that rhythm within each other.
It's a really hard thing to do, Tom. I mean,
it's not easy.
Look at the top. The only teams that have kind of figured it out are the top teams, right? You get a lot of production out of the subs on Dallas. You get a lot of production of the subs on FaZe, as we know. Nissim and Mac have had a lot of big games on New York. Minnesota picking up Envoy. Minnesota and Scump at times too for Optic. And then Minnesota with picking up Standy has kind of totally changed their outlook with getting big games out of Dylan. So, like, I think that's just sort of the next step for this team. For Toronto, just figure out how to just get some better decision making out of your subs. Maybe have them slow down a little bit, get to figure out the pacing, and then the ice, so to speak, the winning clutch plays and the decision making will come with time.
Yep, no, 100%. London did do a good job. They end up clutching up this map. I mean, you could just skim through it. We got a lot to talk about, but just hats off to London to hold on to this Apocalypse map and go up 1-0. And if you're 100T. You had a really good day yesterday. You just got to regain and bounce back. The whole team had a rough map. Everybody's negative except for Drowza. He's sitting at even. So you got to think they just got outplayed a little bit. London just held control. They were obviously outslaying them. So rough map for 100 Thieves. And then going into this S&D, I mean, London, they win again. They go up. A couple clutches. Dylan's 1v2 really caught my eye. That was a really nice play out of Dylan.
I'm trying to go back to the beginning of this round. Just give me a second.
I actually want to say that I wasn't here for the vetoes, but London outplayed these guys in vetoes. Obviously, it's a new team, so it's a completely different system that the 100T guys have with what limited time they have. But these are all maps that London has had, besides Apocalypse, with that not being played. London has had good success on this map, with Paul producing a lot usually. And then you go into a checkmate control after this as well, where you have that big game out of Paul, and that's one of the maps they've liked playing.
Yep.
And for them to still lose a series is kind of mind blowing.
I mean, we talked about it on a couple of shows ago with if you pick APOC, you better be good at your bad side APOC, and that ended up playing out for Toronto. So interesting kind of how that played out. But moving on to the Miami S&D, this clutch was actually kind of
great
nice from
plays
Dylan.
out of Dylan. I like the fact that he put some shots in on B side and he instantly made the move to A. He just caught 100 Thieves really off guard. He moved really fast. His decision making was just instant. Study put in the chat, no hezzy. He didn't hesitate at all. He hit the fucking go button.
Yo, Draws wants to get in here, by the way.
I gave him the info already. He already got it. I'm way ahead of you guys.
That's why I'm my duo, bro.
Yeah, you know the fucking vibe. I'm way ahead of it. I see everybody spamming Roz in the chat. So we're getting him in here. I was talking to him. I was talking to him earlier today, and he said if he wins, he'll come on, and that's exactly what he did. And there he is. Big draws are coming in. Big plays out of you, kid. Big fucking plays. How you feeling after a big dub?
I'm feeling great. Stay composed. A little reverse sweep action. Very happy with the team and how we played. Yeah. Especially being down 0-2.
Yeah, no, for sure. What were kind of like the comms after you guys are down 0-2? You guys are staying calm. What was going on with you guys?
Yeah, honestly, after the S&D was kind of a blowout. The first map we kind of choked as well. Yeah. But honestly, we just knew that we could do it. We were kind of letting them we were kind of playing into their game, so we just focused up on our own game, and it just came after that. Honestly.
Yeah, you guys had nothing to lose, realistically. New team, everything, nothing to lose besides obviously the tournament.
Yeah. You should always play like that, though, right? I mean,
yeah, we were just playing into their game, and
even if you do have something to lose, you should play like you have nothing to lose. At the end of the day,
said than done.
Yeah, it's very easier said than done, but at the end of the day, I think everybody's got to remember, you always got to play your game and play confident and have that mindset, because I think that's sometimes when teams are in a slump, they forget about that mindset, and that's why they end up finding themselves in a pickle. But you guys play good, man. Listening to your listening to, you guys just seem like you have a lot of energy now, and you guys, you just seem like you're on the right page, man. How's practice been going for you guys?
Practice actually has been going really well. We played on 20 for a little, the 20 hertz for a few scrims, but we've been playing on 60 recently. Yeah. And scrims have been going great. Honestly, we've all been just playing at our own pace, and it's actually been looking very good.
Yeah, I think this reverse sweep was pretty big for you guys, honestly.
Yes, 100%.
Right, because it just shows that you guys have composure, right? That you guys can come back if things aren't looking your way.
What's the team vibe like in the game? Do you guys have a lot of freedom as to how you guys want to play, your guys' roles and situations in game, or because I'm assuming so.
Yeah, we definitely have freedom to do what we kind of want to do, but we also have a game plan, especially months of the game. We all everyone plays almost the same. Yeah. So yeah, we're just a little we just run that shit, to be honest. Imagine.
Wait, hold on. So
I fucking love that though.
Without Slasher on the team, obviously Slasher's been known to be a vocal leader in game and stuff like that. Has anyone on your team kind of been taken over in terms of grouping everybody up and getting everyone to have some sort of a game plan in game, or have you guys just been all kind of doing your own thing in comms and kind of just playing the game?
Yeah, honestly, Ken's been doing it a little bit. Honestly, Ken's been doing it, but we all just kind of, like I said, everyone knows really how to play, so it's not too much. But we just say slow down, or make sure we get the back here. We know how to play the game, so we're just really calling out what we need to do, and make sure we're doing it together.
Because I played with you, Zach, a lot in challengers, and I know that you're actually a very vocal player, and people don't know this about you because you obviously haven't been in the light like that. But you've had a really good comms, and you're always really you have a really good understanding of the game. So I was trying to see if you actually had a impact in that.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. I definitely do become more than normal, but I feel we just know how to play the game, and we just we kind of just play off the kills we're getting and whatnot. But for breaking, our comms I think are pretty nice. I was just watching a little bit ago, when you guys were watching first map. Yeah. The comms definitely did sound a little hectic.
A little bit.
In game,
I like it, though.
It's a little bit more clear too. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with the comms.
I personally like that. At
nothing
least when
better
I was
than a
playing.
team that's energetic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I play off energy so much.
Me too.
Yeah, the raid hardpoint, Ken screamed nice or something like that, and I was
get you hyped. Yes, it gets you fucking hyped. I love shit like that. That's what I was saying, because a lot of people in the tower it's hectic, but at the same time, I'd rather you guys be hectic than fucking dead.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It was nice to hear you guys just show some energy and some passion and stuff like that. And then going back to what you were saying, how we don't really tell each other what to do. We kind of all know how to play the game. We're just gonna. You know what that tells me? It tells me that you guys trust each other. You don't have to worry about what somebody's doing on the map. You're just working off one another and just commenting with each other and just playing fucking COD, man. That's all it is.
Do you really have any other choice in the situation that everybody's been in with such little time? You don't. And for everyone to be doing that, that's just good.
Yeah.
That's really good news for the future.
But that's how COD is these days. It's a new generation. It's very free flow. People need to be able to make plays. It's very situationally played. It's not a chessboard anymore. It is
100%.
It is at times. But
yeah,
the
like
game,
you get the break or something.
Yeah,
but like,
it's very situational. You gotta make decisions off the fly. Like a lot of things are changing
100%.
at every given second. So I don't like how teams want to set things up all the time and try and hold certain setups and go over certain things. I mean, it all comes down to playing with each other, working off one another, calming with each other, and reacting to the situational play that's happening on the map.
That's all COD is. That's how COD is.
That's how it is now. Back in the day, it was a little different. Now, you got the sliding mechanic that COD is played in a different it's different. It's just different. And going from being someone who's played in all these generations, I realized that as time went on and seeing new players come up and watching some of the best teams in the world, they don't play how some of these other teams play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's awesome to watch you guys play. It was the one thing that I saw when you guys 3-0'd the other day. You guys were just hitting shit out like you didn't give a fuck. You were just doing it together. Like it doesn't matter what you do.
Obviously, like if we we play some more, and like I obviously want like to know a little bit more, like in certain scenarios what to do, like the whole team to know. But I love the way our comms are and how we've been playing. Like obviously, if we could set up a few more different breaks or little setups that we can instantly get into, like 2v4s or 2v3s or something. But I love the way we've been playing. Yeah. And I hope we just keep it up and. Because you just gotta trust your teammates to do it and 100%. Just play off the information you're getting.
100%. And then you guys go into this control. Now this is where you guys, right? You need this. Obviously, you lose the fucking 100%. Series if you lose this, but I mean, you guys played this really well. I like how aggressive you guys pushed up on the map. You could clearly tell.
Made the play. Yeah, Teej was making the play. Yeah. I think he got 1 or 2, or maybe I think might have got 3, but he just made him wrap back, and then we just got on B point.
Yeah. How you feeling on the AR? Jaws, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought you were like a sub player, but I see you running the AR. You're doing your fucking thing. I mean, have you always been an AR player? Always been a sub player? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been a main. I was a main sub in MW. Like I'd pull out in like S&D like an AR.
Yeah, I thought you were.
I was main sub smoke, full MW. I was a full sub in this game as well. And then like it's like I placed like top 8 in the elite. My team wasn't working out, and then we decided to play with Insight, Twerk, Decimate, and myself. And I thought I was the best player to take the flex. Obviously, at the time, didn't really want to take the flex, just just in case, like 100T needed a sub. But at the end of the day, I was like, bro, like I'd rather
do what you gotta do.
Run the flex and win, and have or at least have a chance, because technically I didn't know I was gonna win. But switch to flex, M4. Oh my god,
That was your thing?
I was insane.
Do it all. Fucking do it all. And
do it all. I was like, yes, this is what I like. So we went back to back, and we won the cup and then the open.
Yeah. No, you guys are doing your thing.
Yeah, so we won that. Then obviously Insight got pulled up, and then we played with Zinni in the elite, and we did not qualify. So then I was back to a sub, and then luckily Standy got pulled up, and I got the opportunity to play with them, and then I was back to full sub. So I ran flex for about 2 months, and then went back to sub, with the elite, not too much of practice.
Yeah.
Ended up winning the elite, and then I was like, let's go. I'm back with a sub. I dropped.
You're a load of fucking plays.
Yeah.
You're everywhere.
And then I was just like, yeah, honestly, bro, just give me the AR. Fuck it. And, because when I was playing with M4 and the way I was playing in the challenges, I was like, yeah, if I could just replicate what I was doing before with an AR, I definitely want the AR role.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's impressive is not only you found success with the AR, you found success with the sub, and now you're back to AR. Yeah. And granted, the major's not over. You guys have already, outplace a lot of people's expectations with a new complete roster while running that AR. So there's
100%. Yeah.
There's still a lot of matches to be played, but like you're finding success in every single role that you find yourself running, which is amazing to see. To be honest, it's impressive.
Yeah. Now a lot of people thought when I went back to back, a lot of people thought that I was a main AR, or not main AR, but I was a flex my whole career. I was just like, yeah, no, I didn't touch an AR before that, and then I just touched it. We went back to back. I was feeling great with it, and then circumstances changed, and I had to run a sub again. And then I was like, honestly, bro, just give me the AR back. Fuck it. Like, if I can get back to where if I can get back to where I was, then I know I can do something in the league. So I'm pretty happy with the way I've been playing. Obviously, like, there's certain things that I just wish I just had a few extra, reps with. Like just so close to getting kills, like playing a little bit more ratty, or like I'd like to like jump over things, like Cell likes to jump over everything.
Yeah.
I know if I had a few more reps with AR, I could get those kills that I make one shot.
Yeah. You got to get into a rhythm. I mean, bro.
Exactly.
It shows a lot about who you are as a player. You just care about the win. A lot of players, man, you know, they're like, no, I'm a sub player. I'm not running that shit. You're just like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. You know, I'm going to run whatever it takes to win. And I think that says a lot about you as a player. And I think that is one thing about a flex player that's difficult, is finding rhythm, because you're always changing guns. And I mean, not saying that you are a flex. I mean, you are now. But I'm just saying, when you're switching guns back and forth like that, it's hard to find rhythm and hard to get your spots right, like you just said, right? Well, you see Sally, I'm always finding his credit angles and doing stuff like that. That just comes from reps over time, just practicing over and over again.
Huge shout out to my team though. Like, I came in, the vibes were so good. The vibe, I mean, like I said, I'm a huge vibe player. The vibes were good, and we were just doing shit around the map, and everything was just flowing correct. So it was letting me do what I used to do with an AR, and kind of letting me do what I kind of want.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, get a block and whatnot, but
yeah. 100%.
They let me just do whatever I want, which is just the best.
And that's why Draws, I've always gassed you up in challengers, and that's why I gassed you up in MW when I played with you and all that stuff. And like,
love my boy.
I joke around, I call you like my son and stuff like that. But like, we played a lot together, and I always like saw a lot of greatness in you, man. And when like you didn't get the opportunity to play with Thieves, like either right off the rip or when they first needed a sub, I was disappointed. But like, I knew that eventually, when you get your time to shine, that you're gonna prove you're gonna prove your worth, because you're an amazing player, good ass teammate, well balanced in every single game mode, and shit, you're even proving stuff to me that I didn't know you had in you. You can really do it all, basically. So
yeah, no, it's super nice to, you know, be in the position I'm in now, back on a 100 Thieves roster, and obviously, you know, doing that reverse sweep, because the first elite, I mean, I got top 8. I think my best placement before the first elite was like a top 8. So technically my year was not going good, but you know, I switched to flex, went back to back, and then I won the elite.
Yeah.
After, you know.
That's good, man. I like that you stuck with it and you didn't give up, and you got the call, man. What did it feel like when you got the call? Were you excited? You had to be fucking pumped.
Yeah, no. So I could choose, like, I had the chance to choose, like, if I wanted to run an AR or a sub. And with my recent performance as a sub, like, I was going off, so I was like, honestly, like, I could easily just take the sub role and then and just, you know, just be back at like normal, like not have to switch anything. But I was like, if I can go back to what I was at, I think I could be very good with an AR.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I was super soaked, you know, after not placing well in the beginning of the game to, you know, winning the next 2, you know, quote unquote majors of the challenger scene. I was super happy from, you know, what I was to what I am now, and getting the chance to, you know, obviously play for 100 Thieves and beating Paris and the reverse sweeping.
Yeah.
Life's just been on the come up recently, and I'm hoping to, you know, keep it going.
Yeah, soak it up, man. Soak it up. You're in the limelight right now. You're doing your fucking
insane
thing
right here.
Yeah, bro.
You guys to get full streaks, I was so huge, and then like right here, you're about to see he went insane. I don't know how these guys didn't kill him sooner.
Yeah, he's finesse, bro. He's just fucking jumping around and
big
shit.
Finesse right there.
I mean,
like,
it's good to see. It's good to see you guys finessing and making plays on the map, because that's something I felt like 100 Thieves was missing before. There was no plays being made. It just seemed like it was so straight up. It just seemed like it was just like everything was so predictable. Everything was being overthought. They were trying to set things up all the time. Now it just seems a lot more free flow. Your comms sound a lot better. Honestly, 100 Thieves and obviously you, Draws, you guys just look way better, man. You guys just, and it's honestly, it's refreshing to see.
I think when I mean, I'm a huge player on energy, but I feel like when you get players like TJ, you know, Kenny, like I played with them last year, and obviously Venom, when they're able to, you know, make the plays they kind of want to make, they're obviously very, very talented players, and they know what to do in most scenarios. To let them be a little bit more free and let them do what they want is, you know, when you're gonna be
let them get fired up.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
They probably haven't had that feeling for a while, where they're just like they probably feel like they're back in the passion pit with the way that their matches have been going and stuff like that, where they're just going, everyone's going nuts right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then you guys just kind of steamroll through this map, right? I mean, you guys are firing on all cylinders. You guys are winning everyone. Every time it goes to somebody on their screen, they're just winning nonstop fights, man. It's just incredible to see. So, I mean, you guys, you come out, you win the next 2 maps, you guys fry, and then trying to go into that last S&D. You know, you guys are, you're probably like, yo, listen, man, we were down 0-2, we tied up, now we're back to square one. We go into this 5th map, and this is for all the marbles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was looking scary.
Oh, yeah. It started off scary. You guys go down 0-3. Definitely not what you want to see. But you guys stay composed, obviously. And what happened? Did you guys just adapt? You start figuring out what they were doing, or you just kind of just stuck to your game?
honestly, we were just kind of sticking to our game, but we could tell like they were going B quite a bit. But TJ really was starting to make play calls, and we started just like pushing up. Like we pushed up B and got the bomb plant a few times. But TJ was really just calling the plays.
London was actually making a lot of mistakes. If you go back and watch this, like they were doing a lot of stupid things that were giving you guys opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't have had.
Yeah,
like that for example, where Shawnee just slid out and got freebie.
Yeah, I was watching pinch, so like I didn't even see how that happened. You actually
had that happen quite a lot of rounds for London. You'll see it if you watch this match. It was kind of sad, and I felt reminiscent of our major run because that was happening a lot in our match, and I was pretty disappointed in the London boys, obviously coming from that team. To see them, I guess, making mistakes that they made when I was on the team, you'd think they'd fix some of these issues. But...
Yeah, like right there, Tej was like, "Yo, Ken, come look at my top window." He gets a first blood, and then he calling out that he's basically dead. Ken repeats, gets another kill.
Yeah, like Dylan right there was just basically alone, and he just gets picked.
Yeah. Now you guys just have numbers here, and I like how you guys are always working the map now. Like in S&D, I just feel like you guys, whenever you have numbers, you're always grouped up, and you guys aren't hesitating. Like you're not just standing still. Like you're being active. I think that's the key word, active. You guys are always active, where sometimes you see a lot of teams, they're just always just turtling, and it hurts them. Like you're not making plays, and you allow the other team to just take that upper hand on you and make a play, and it just doesn't work.
One of the biggest things that we were saying, I don't know if we said it going to game 5 or game 2, I don't remember, but we were saying like if you think we should make this play, go A, go B, go mid or whatever, just call it out. Like we would rather have a call not work than just sit there and just like look dumb, like just sitting there, holding pre-aims and just let them make the play on us.
No, 100%.
You'll see it again. I'm pretty sure they make a similar mistake here. I think somebody does it on London, I think, where they get picked before they're even supposed to.
Coordinated nades. You guys are throwing nades down together.
Me and Ken double to the nades.
Yep,
that's it right there.
That's dope.
And this was a huge kill right here.
Dylan should not have been sliding there, and then
freebies.
Yep, this was a huge trade. That could have been a 2-piece.
Oh yeah, no, this was huge.
Yep, and then you guys end up rotating sides. You guys are just moving so quick, bro. I love to watch it.
So decisive, bro.
And that's what it's all about, man. It's just those decisive decision making, mid-round adjustments, right? I mean, that's the difference between good teams and great teams. It's little things like that. So it was awesome to watch. I mean, and then right after this, you guys bring it back. You tied up 3-3, and you guys have full momentum going into the rest of this map. I mean, as long as you just keep onto that momentum and just keep pushing the pedal down, you're good to go. You're fucking good to go.
Our comms have been very good. Especially in S&D, like we're just watch this, you'll hit this together, and we're being really decisive, which is huge.
Ben.
Yeah.
How you doing over there? You okay?
No, you guys are vibing.
Asleep, bro.
I don't want to interrupt you guys' flow.
No, but what I want,
you guys got a good interview flow.
I know, but what's going on with you, man? I know you got some words to say. I mean, we're obviously going into a 5th. Matt, what's up?
I wanted to back up what Parasite said, which is like, again, just this is a winnable map for London. They went up 3-0. And they just, it's like their brains switch off and they stop playing together as a team.
Yeah.
You're giving freebies on defense, and it's so hard to win the trades on this map when you're in that 3v4 unless you go big. And props to you guys, Draza, for fighting through that. Adversity in the first 2 maps, adversity in this map to go ahead and get your second series in a row with the squad.
Yeah, it actually happened so many times on this map, Ben. Like, it's going to happen again. This is 3 rounds in a row.
Does that trophy not work?
This is 3 rounds in a row.
That was weird.
See it again. There it is. Look, ready?
This was so huge. This was
nice. Like, whatever. They get the trade, but, like, that's just unacceptable, man.
So I have a question.
This is so unacceptable to watch.
Did Kenny get stuck in the back again?
Kenny did. He
Okay.
So. He got stuck in the fucking ground.
Yeah, so really
this fucking game.
Look right here. Look right here. Look, Paul slides. Instant audio cue. Draws turns. Paul doesn't slide there. And there's no certainty that he's going to win the round, but that's just free information to the other team. You have there's no reason to slide there. That's just giving your team a free audio cue.
I love how they're not even going to his screen, right? They don't want to show it. They don't even want to look at him.
Yeah,
he's fucking smiling.
Back window. That's all I have.
Dead ass, bro. Like, dude, that must have been like you guys probably were losing full in the middle of that though when he was stuck there. I would have been like,
Let's
fucking
go, draws. Clutch up, baby.
They were probably Venom and Tej were probably thinking like sheesh, but I was obviously in the one like I was still playing.
You heard him, right?
Waiting.
You heard him there,
Yeah,
right?
no, I heard him slide. I didn't know he was in the room. I thought he just slid mid.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ken was just saying, "Yo, all I have is your back door," and I think he was stuck for like before Tej got the 2-piece, or maybe after. He was stuck for a minute.
He was there for a minute, bro. That guy was there just fucking, I don't know.
So, yeah, no, like, who knows what happens if we lose that round just because, the vibes, you know, that's just a lose full moment.
And then London here, they just give up the B site. They don't even have anybody over there. You guys take full advantage of it.
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
this was bad too.
Yeah.
This was bad too. So they have number 4, right? He's right next to this guy Platt. This guy Platt is getting all the info. They're throwing nades at him, so they know he's here. I don't think Paul had flak. He got stuck.
Yeah.
So he gets stuck. But look, number 4. He could have easily just turned. He probably would have got 2 free kills.
Nah,
Instead, he's just sitting there.
Wait, he
didn't even turn. Look, watch it again. Watch it again.
Yeah, go back. Yeah.
wait, you said he got stuck. Who got stuck?
No, Zed is not stuck. Zed is. He got stuck with the nade. But look at Zed.
Like, no, he just got the worst time. Like, he's looking at it.
I thought number 4 was stuck because he's not even moving.
But still, like,
that's
that's so fucked, dude.
Yeah, it is fucked.
He's just not making a play. He didn't see shit.
Yeah. Now you guys get the bomb down. And I like the spot that Kenny played here on top of the truck. He gets a good angle. They try to stick the site here, which I don't know if I agree with the play out of here by London. I think it was Zed.
Yeah.
He gets big kills, and then he tries to stick the defuse. I don't really know if I agree with it. You still got some time to work with. They're obviously gonna see him sticking it. You know, they're gonna check the bomb.
I think when you're in a 2v2 situation like that, I think it's not the most ideal play there. If maybe you were not meant, if you were in a least advantageous situation, just play the numbers. But here, like, they could have held and just waited for the guys
21
to peek.
seconds, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what is the expected is going to happen there? You know, like, you guys can be coming from anywhere. And he's
they cleared out everything. They cleared out everything but street. At that point, you have to know that there's at least one guy street, and like they have no info on him. It's just not the ideal play. But at the same time, it's getting to that point on the bomb clock where you don't really have many ways options. We can check.
Yeah, 100%. And then we go into this round. You guys end it here. You guys lose this round, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
You guys lose this round. London, they get a pick on Venom over on the outskirts of the map. Then you kind of get fucking overwhelmed on site. You guys are kind of screwed here. London just played really aggressive this round. This was like a lose full round. It feels like they're like, fuck it, we're down. Just fucking hit the site.
I'm gonna go back to this, man. They lost defenses. They lost 3 of them that were big. Obviously, the one to finish out the map.
Yeah.
And then they won they lost the 2 defenses where twice Shawnee was the first one, peaked escalators, died for free, and then Dylan slid out to escalators again, died for free. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be happening. They're not even exposed to the site yet. You shouldn't need to engage them.
Yeah, no, 100%. But you guys end up clutching up. This doesn't go 5-5, right? No, it doesn't go 5-5. You guys win it right here. They just give up the site. You guys get control of it. I mean, now you guys have all the map control in the world. You guys have control of the site. London is forced to make a play. If I remember correctly, Venom, he picks up the pinch. He gets a big kill.
Huge pickup.
Drowsa, you win a big one. And then it's just non-stop trades. And here it's just a 2v1 situation. Your duo, man, Paul X. Well, not your duo, but more Venom's duo. No, there's like Venom's guy. But he's in a 1v2, and you guys just decide to get the bomb down. You got eyes on him right there, obviously. I think you saw him.
Yeah, I seen him right there.
Yeah, and then right here, it's a wrap. You guys get the bomb down. 40 seconds left on the clock. Paul X needs to make a play, and you guys just stay together, and you make some moves around the map. So just good plays, man. Good plays. It's nice to see some young guys coming in and just showing a sense of composure in the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a huge match.
Yeah, it's cool to see, man. And obviously we have some matches tomorrow for you guys. How you feeling going into tomorrow? You feeling good? You guys play tomorrow?
We play New York.
Okay, you play us. And how you feeling?
Honestly, I'm feeling I'm pretty happy with how we played today. Obviously the first 2 maps. I mean, we could have won first map. The second map, we lost pretty bad. But I mean, once we started like playing our game, like we won the next 3 maps. So I'm just, we just gotta play our game against New York, and we should be. I'm happy if we're playing our game. Yeah,
and then you got what is it, Kylo Ken? Is that what it is? What is he calling himself these days?
I don't know.
Ben, you alive over there?
Yeah, Kylo Ken.
Kylo Ken, is that what it is?
Yeah.
This guy's got a lightsaber and shit. This guy's going crazy. I love it. And I love that he's all smiles, bro. Because Ken's he's a good kid and he's a good player. So it's cool to see you guys clutch up, man, and just good wins, man. Good wins all around, man. And thank you for joining up too and
I
just
appreciate
talking to us a little bit, man. Yeah, 100%.
I gotta get better at these little interviews.
Nah, bro, you're honestly pretty good, bro. Like,
good.
You've done good. You've done good on the show, man.
Bro, you know what the thing is? I'll give you some advice with these interviews, man.
Thank you.
Don't overthink these interviews, bro. Like, just don't overthink the questions. Like, if somebody asks you a question, just talk pretend like you're in a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And just like be yourself. Don't overthink it. And honestly, you're too hard on yourself. You were fine. You were fine, bro. I mean, there's a lot of players in the league that need to get better with it, but as time goes on, you guys get more reps, you'll be fine.
Yeah. No, 100%, 100%.
But you were good in here, bro. I'll tell you that. You were fine. You were doing your thing. So let's get a Roz in the chat. You guys are already going crazy for him, bro. We got one more series to talk about. You're welcome to stay. If not, you can do whatever you got to do, man. But we're going to talk about this last series.
I think I get some food. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, go do your thing. Thank you for joining up, man. Hell yeah, man.
Good shit,
bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
So we'll get to the videos in this series. One thing with Florida that I'm very curious about, they keep playing checkmate hardpoint in this series. They've only won it once. It was against Rocker early on in stage 2 when they had the team that was obviously struggling. But we know how good Seattle's on that map. Seattle actually beat them earlier in the stage on this map as well. So I was a little surprised that, I guess Seattle's been kind of sticking with this Garrison pick for a minute in terms of their ban. Would love to see them try and mix it up and maybe try a different map, considering they're now going to 1-6 on that map after 2 stages.
What that tells me is that either what's it called, Florida is not doesn't have a good map pool, like a big one, or they just chalked up that first time they lost to them in the stage as like a fluke. It's one or the other. So
get Dan in the call. Get him in here. I think Looney has a lot to say. He wants to come on.
Dan's come through.
Map 1 was pretty exciting. A lot went down here. It was pretty mixy. So we'll get right into it. Now let me hop in about like halfway through this map here. We actually had some really good Moscow hardpoints today. I feel like sometimes this map is a little bit of a sneeze fest, but we saw a good one here today. I think, what were your overall thoughts on the series, Tom? I know the 2 P's on the team, Preston and aka Pristini and Pierce aka Gunless, have been absolutely frying for this team as of late, and now they've got a little bit of momentum on their side. They're top 8. Like, what are your thoughts?
I'm a big Pristini fan, man. This guy's been showing consistent gameplay the last couple weeks. That's what you want to see. We know his ceiling, right? Guy's a world champ. He knows, what he's capable of doing. You can see it in his movement, his gun skill. Like, this guy can play. His struggles over the past have just been consistency, and now that he's showing consistency in his game, this guy's on another level. Fucking Pristini, man. This guy's nuts. I love watching this guy play, and I'm happy for him because he cares so much about this shit. He's a man of many emotions, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love it. I love that he's always showing his emotions and showing how much he cares about the game. So to see him coming out and just really showing what he can do on a consistent level is awesome to see. As well as Big P, Gunless, coming in. He's showing what he can do. The whole team's performing really well. You got to give it up to Seattle. They look way better. They looked like shit in the beginning of the game. Now they look phenomenal.
Pristini is finding a level of patience in his gameplay, and I think that's what's helping him the most, because we always knew Preston as the guy that's super aggressive, overly aggressive at times, right? Yeah. Where it's hurting him. And now you see him making those big plays, those ratty plays, being a lot more patient while still being able to execute those high-level aggressive plays that, he's normally known for.
Yep.
So he's just added another element to his gameplay, which is benefiting him highly on this team.
Yep. This was one map that got really, really close. This was the one map, Ben, that I couldn't watch. I remember I told you that you got to take an eye.
You slid me a text, said, hey, I'm in the shower.
I had to go take a shower. I smell like shit.
I got you.
I smell like shit. I said, you know what? Before the show, I got to make sure I get a shower. And so Ben was obviously watching this map, but it was a close one. I know that. So went all the way down to the wire.
Because I had ordered Indian food the series before, so I pulled up, had some nice Indian food, had some nice garlic naan, and
pretty good. It's good stuff.
Banger of a series. I think I'll go, Dan. We'll get you here.
You're good, Looney. You're good. You're good.
I want to talk about Florida before we talk about Seattle. It's like I just can't figure out this Florida team, man. Like one series they're frying. Yeah, we're here now too.
How you doing, Looney? Welcome to the flank. How you doing, kid?
Yo,
what's good?
What's good, brother?
Just another day.
Just another day.
Just to finish the thought.
Yeah.
This Florida team's hard to read, man. One team they look like a great team. It's just got they're frying, and then another series just absolute sinkers out of some of the guys. Like,
they make no sense to me.
I don't think they got to make a change, but I think going into stage 3, they've got to figure out how to get more consistent performances out of this team.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me, bro. Sometimes they look fucking incredible, and sometimes they look like meat. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And when you watch them play, they clearly have talent. I mean, we talk about Awakening as one of the best players in the league. You see Neptune in the thing. Yeah, you see Neptune in the ceiling that this guy can have with the way he just moves around the map and plays the game. Obviously, you know what Caesar Skies can do. Jerry's a well-known player over the years. He's been always at the top of his game.
Championships.
Well, yeah, he's a big guy. He's a big-name guy. Like, we got a good team here.
These guys have an issue similar to 100 Thieves, where they have a lot of really good players, high-ceiling players, but they're having so many levels of inconsistencies that it's so hard to point out exactly what their issue is. And it's tough. I can assume it's going to be very tough for them, because right now it's a scary time in the league with all these teams picking up amateurs and stuff like that and making these changes and improving. You got to think it's going to be scary for these guys to know that, like, they're underperforming. They can't really identify an issue. So do they make a change? Do they not make a change? What do they do? It's such a hard situation to be in.
They're in a difficult spot. I mean, it's going to come down to, one, who they can get, or who they're willing to get. And two, how they're feeling as a team. I don't know what it's like in the Mutineers camp, but I think a lot of it's going to come down to just how they're feeling individually. And if they want to make a change, make a change. But they're definitely not showing consistency, I'll tell you that. And that's a huge problem.
The weirdest thing, too, is if you look at their map records, they're like pretty decent records across all the maps, except for the checkmate maps. Across all 3 game modes, they're 8-14 win-loss. Obviously, we talked about the 1-6 in Hardpoint, 2-5 in Search. They've had a lot of tough losses on that map early in stage 1 and stage 2, and they actually have a winning record on Control on checkmate 5-3, but would like to see them dip into other maps in the map pool, and maybe they'll find more success there.
Yep. No, maybe it could be a lot of things. It could be I just think it's them by the day, man. I don't know what it is. They talk about how good they are in scrims, right? And that sometimes they just can't put it together in the games. I don't know why that is exactly. I know Caesar was talking a little bit about maybe they're just getting too used to the pings that they're playing with in scrims and stuff. I don't know, but they got to figure it out, and they got to figure it out quick, because time is dwindling down, and a team like this, especially on paper, you just expect more. You just expect more from them, and I like all the guys on the team too. Yeah. I think everybody's very talented. I think they just need to try and figure something out.
Yeah, but we have Dan here. Dan, aka Looney, big series win today. Kind of, what were your thoughts on the series? Mindset going in, how play out the first couple of maps here?
I mean, obviously we're a confident mindset going in. We knew map 1 was going to be tough in terms of just stopping that 3-0 momentum that they had. Obviously, they came out and just smoked, what was it, LAG?
Yeah.
We kind of figured that we were going to play a Moscow, because last time we played them on Apocalypse, and they weren't about to play that. And obviously, they had just beat LAG on this map, and it is obviously a map that we're comfortable in.
Yeah.
And obviously we made some mistakes. I think one of the bigger ones was on the Bus Hill. Pierce was really close to streaks, and Awakening and Neptune kind of went big on the pinch to stop Pierce from getting streaks, which I think would have helped us to close out this map. But after losing this map, I mean, we were confident going into Express. Obviously, I think they were 3-0, maybe 4-0 heading into that. So that was just a lot of VOD we can watch. Yeah. Obviously, it ended up being like a headbanger. They did make adjustments, which is obviously what you want to see from a team, knowing that they're 3-0. They obviously should know that we're gonna
you're twisted right now, Dan. Bro, you are fucking twisted, bro.
How did the vetoes go down?
No, you just keep saying obviously is hilarious. Like, you're just so fucking. I love it, bro. You're just going rogue.
How did the vetoes go down? Because you let Express slip in, and you said they have a really good map record. Did you guys do that on purpose, or I'm not gonna? You don't have to give away your veto strategy, but like in terms of like what you guys vetoed, but like how did obviously that map slip in there?
Going into it, they only actually played 2 maps in stage 2, in Checkmate and Express. They actually threw us off. They banned Checkmate. Whoa. So that kind of threw us off, or we're just like, okay, like, what do we want to play now? Do we let them just pick their Express, obviously, which we thought was going to happen, 3-0. And then it was just kind of on us to pick what we wanted to. So that's indeed, I mean, they threw us off. It wasn't like a crazy throw off.
Yeah.
But it just kind of we're just like, oh, okay. Like, I remember Joey joined the team. He's like, well, they just vetoed S&D Checkmate. What do you guys want to do? And I think we picked Raid, if I recall, for game 5, which didn't get there.
One of your stronger maps, if you look at it on paper.
Yeah. So that threw us off in the vetoes. Other than that, like the hard point, like I said, we kind of figured they were going to ban Apocalypse. We're obviously going to play Moscow. And then I kind of figured we were going to play hardpoint Checkmate, because if you look back in the seeding stage, that's when we made like an 100-point comeback on them.
Yeah, so they saw it as a fluke.
So yeah, exactly. I was like, they're probably gonna see it as a fluke and just pick it against us. And then the control, I think control rate is their auto veto, and then we banned Checkmate, which looking back at it could be a mistake on their part, because we're 0-5 on control raid. So
Maron.
that was kind of mind blowing, where they kind of fed into our hand in that scenario.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier in the show, like especially with the respawn auto vetoes, it kind of hamstrung to a situation there where they would have put you in a tough spot if they had, played the other way, but instead it works into your favor.
So
basically
the Joey Nubsy, the troll on the vetoes, just stays consistent because Joey's notorious for saying he wins the vetoes every time.
Yep.
Fucking Joe.
Undefeated in vetoes. And if we lose the series, it's on the players, not on him. Know that.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Joey's out of fucking control. You can't control that guy. But you guys look good, man. And the fact that you guys won 3 straight, is good to see. You guys lose the first map, but you come out and you show you could do. Preston went rogue right there.
That was a lunge. Yeah, we knew Jerry played in there, but that was a lunge.
Yeah.
Like I said, they obviously, like, usually in Search and Destroy, if you're good at it, you're not going to switch much, but I think they did make proper adjustments to win some of these rounds. I think they're really comfortable on this map because it allows Neptune to kind of just go rogue. I think in most of their wins, he's got a lot of kills for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a comfortable map for Neptune that they enjoy playing.
Yeah. So, I mean, it basically just comes down to you guys just being prepared for this next map, right? You guys just went back, watched some VODs. I figure you guys are a big VOD watching team. I know you like to watch VODs, so I mean.
Oh yeah, all about my VODs.
Yeah, you're a big guy when it comes to the VODs.
Especially as the play caller. I mean, we all kind of play call. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. But as a play caller, you want to know what the hell the other team's doing, so you even know what to call.
It's free info.
Yeah,
why not?
I think I learned a lot from teaming with Bryce. Bryce was huge on just hard reads and I know they're going A. Like, I just know they're going A, so we're 4 hitting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, back then where Search wasn't really played like that. Now it kind of is, but back then, you had your defaults, you had your this. But I think I learned a lot from teaming with Bryce at NIW when it comes to just reading your opponent.
Yeah.
And obviously creating strats to blind counter them.
100%. I mean, we could talk about this S&D a little bit, but I kind of want to go into the next map and just kind of speed it up.
I want to talk about the round 11 here.
Yeah, go ahead and bring it up. Speed it up. Bring it all the way to the end.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I sat there and just hoped my teammates got kills. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it was
like, you see me looking the low side, and I was looking at the kill feed, and it would light up for us, and I was like, thank God. The other round that was crazy was the one that ended up being a 1v1 with Preston versus Awakening. It literally in the kill feed, like, everyone died within like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
it was actually crazy at B.
Non-stop trades. I mean, right here, you guys end up getting it down to a 1v3 or a 3v1, but kind of what was the play call going into this round? Just kind of bang out B. You just didn't want to give him B control, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about it prior. We lost the Empire on this by giving up B solely because we had a cruise missile. But I was just like, bro, let's just go. Like, I called to go all low, but then I think Pierce, like, in the last 5 seconds, like, nah, let's hit hallway. Like, let's triple hit hallway, and you just go low.
This is actually good. That was actually a good strat that you guys had. I like the way you guys played that because Preston had your back and you had the bottom. Yeah, so you're guaranteed. You guys are guaranteed to get like one apiece, most likely.
Yeah, and you kind of know early on when a team's gonna go there. Like, I think I had engineer. I might have not had engineer, but you just hear the trophies drop. The utility uses on my bro. They are here. Like, they are here.
Yeah.
Usually, so. It was kind of like that was like what I talked about with round 11, just a hard read. Yeah, they're gonna go B. Let's go B.
And then we go into the garrison control, and this was pretty defensive heavy, wasn't it? If I remember correctly, was this like a defensive win just across the board?
Heavy,
well, we won the first defense. The second offense our first offense, we got A actually, and they held B.
Yeah,
to win the defense.
That was scary. That was
Preston goes off in the round after that. I think he gets streaks. And you guys are going to carry it to a victory in this map. Dan, kind of watching the growth of Preston over the last couple of weeks, kind of what are your thoughts? Sort of, do you know what adjustments he's made in his gameplay to sort of take the next step?
I think it's just knowing that he's a fucking beast. Like, we kind of joke about it, and it's just like, oh, Preston's popping off now because people just have me to scapegoat, and it's just like it just like relieves pressure from Preston and how he's gonna play. I don't care going first. I don't care about none of that stuff. So I think Preston's like, if I have Dan doing that for me, I'm just gonna go fucking kill things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and his finesse when he's on an island is actually crazy.
Yeah, no, he's really good. He's definitely really good. He's just annoying to play against. He's always been like that though. He's always had good finesse.
Yeah, but like I think obviously when you're confident, like it excels. But like, look, he's like out here by himself on the other side of the map.
Bro.
Like, he plays a lot of weird off angles and stuff. They just can't kill him. They can't kill this fucking guy.
Me and Pierce are clearing out green here, and he's just popping off over here. I had no idea. I was just like,
he doesn't die for the rest of this round. I mean, he doesn't
die the last 2 rounds.
Yeah,
the
eventually
last 2 rounds he doesn't die.
And then he gets some good finesse here. Go back and repinch vent. Gets him out from a teammate. Just really good work out of you guys.
Good plays, bro. This guy's on another level. Big P's on another level too. All of you guys, honestly, you're playing really well together. It just seems like you guys are very active around the map. I like using that word active because I just feel like
you got to get active on the map.
That's what I'm saying.
Pierce doesn't really get that much credit like that in Gas anymore, just because you expect that out of him. He's been so good throughout like every single title. So just seeing him back like into form is just like, oh, it's Big P doing Big P things.
Yeah.
So Pristini's been getting a lot of that shine just because Pristini over the last like year, even through his MW phase, like he hasn't been known to have these very good statistical maps, and now he's playing a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's just post IW.
Maps.
Like World War II, they didn't obviously win, and then with that United roster, like they had their moments where they easily could have won, but I think a lot of people just viewed that's when like Alex started getting a lot of shine, right? In World War II, like a lot of people, and then Black Ops 4, obviously they pick up Simp and Abizi, and like it's just like
outshine those guys.
You know how it is, bro. Oh, anyone could have won with those guys, so who cares about Pristini? You know what I'm saying?
I think on the Big P front, Dan, I know you teamed with him back in the day in World War II, and Pierce had kind of a rep for a couple of years as sort of being sort of a hard teammate to work with. He's obviously wears his emotions on the sleeve, and he's very vocal in terms of how he approaches COD. Like, how has he been as a teammate this year?
I mean, bro, we fight. Like, Preston always talks about it, bro. He's just like, bro, you two just love arguing with each other. I don't know what it is, but just shut up. And I'm just like, well, I'm just trying to get better. Like, we just like we were like semi-fighting, like in our scrims, just trying to, like, obviously we both want to win. We've had a lot of success. Obviously, like I said, he got benched, I got benched. So it's just a passion thing where, like you said, like we know. I think I can do it I've done it with 2 players. With Yuli, I can deadass just go at him, and the map starts, and it's like nothing ever happened. There's never that tension that builds between each other. And I think it's the same thing with Pierce. No matter what we say to each other, whether we piss each other off, like there's never like you hop on the next day and there's some weird tension where you're just like, I want to drop this fucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
with Yuli and with Pierce, I've had that, and that's why I think Pierce also likes enjoys teaming with me, because he knows the same thing. He can piss me off. I'll get off the mic and then just come back and I'm like, all right, next map, what's up?
Yeah,
like, that's why a lot of people just can't handle that,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on a couple of teams, I think, where players don't really have that mindset. I think the Huntsman team he was on, he just did, those players are more vibe players and didn't really fit his approach. But good to see that you guys are kind of aligned and you don't take that stuff too seriously, or you're aligned on the core goal of getting better. And look, sometimes the best way to work through issues is to just talk it out and see where you guys meet in the middle in terms of tactics and approach to the
Dan, that's always one thing that I've liked about you, Dan. And I don't remember if you remember this, but I've been in like a whole bunch of interviews, and they're like, oh, if there's one player that you've always wanted to team with that you haven't, I've always brought up your name, and that's why, because you're a very good leader. But I know that I can actually have constructive conversations with you, and even if we get pissed off, that I know that you, at the end of the day, you see the bigger picture, man.
Oh no, 100%. I think that's what you just have to do. Like, everyone wants to win. Like, if you're not on a team where everyone wants to win, obviously there's better ways to go about it, and blah 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 blah. But people are people. It is hard to change, like, just on a snap of a finger. Like, all right, today, like, there's times where I go into scrum, I'm like, yo, today I'm just gonna chill out, and then an argument happens, bro, and I just completely forget I thought about that, and I'm just like Dagger Dan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Dagger Dan back in action,
and it's just like, hey, that's just how it's gonna be. And like I said, if you can just brush it off and get on the next day, or not even start the next map, like literally just start the next map, and we're just trying to get better.
I think you just need to know. I think, like you said, Dan, there's certain people you can get into it with, and there's certain people that you can't. It's about knowing the personalities on the team and knowing how you could talk to certain people, because certain things help certain people. Some people like to get fucking screamed at and fucking yelled, like to go crazy.
User left your channel.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it because we were so like focused on like the Seattle stuff and Pristini. But what happened with Slacked? 4 kills on a map?
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
Not see that?
I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, people have bad maps. I mean, you saw Clay had a stinky.
Impressive. That is impressive.
He had a bad map. You know what I'm saying? Slack's another one who's been playing well this year, right? Like, he hasn't been playing bad. So he just had a bad map. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm not gonna be so nice to Slack. I mean, I think he's a great player. A smart guy is a good teammate. I just think he's just got to find a little bit of form of consistency. Maybe it's a little bit of like a chemistry thing between him and
it's a lot of fucking
Neptune,
people, bro.
like just figuring out how to get the trades and more map control together. But like you can't be dropping 4 kills on a map. It's always gonna put your team in a tough position.
We've actually seen quite a bit of stinkers, like impressive stinkers over the last like few days, and it's kind of sad to see. Like my boy Fire, I'm gonna call him out, but he had a bad day, and then Clay with the 9 and 33, and now Slack. So it's kind of sad to see some of these.
Asim had 40 kills.
It's fucking mind blowing to see that. To be honest,
this was a fucking bloodbath. By the way, you guys close this out in fashion.
I mean, bro. This one got scary. This one got scary.
It got scary.
This got unlucky right
there. It got scary, but you guys were kind of in full control though at the same time. Like you got scared towards the end, but you guys had that P1 rotation and like that. We know how hard it is to break that shit.
Look at the kills though.
I will say before we get there, we were watching this with RJ. And I called it on the P2. I was like, this map's over. And RJ's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes, like, in this map, like, the way that P3, P4, P5 play, like, if you just don't get flipped and you get stuck in those P2 spawns, like, the other team can make a comeback. And then he said the other part of that is, like, but usually what happens is the team that's in that position then holds P1 because the other team's just flooding the plane hill and then they close out. So he kind of called this whole
called it,
map.
Yep.
Look at the kills though. I was going back. Was before this hill.
It's this fucking change. It's this fucking map.
The kills were so even, and you guys had a damn near 100-point lead. Like that just goes to show how effective you guys are at like using your kills to your guys' potential, where nobody necessarily needs to pop off. And that's why that's a trend I've actually seen in a lot of your matches. That when you guys are winning, no single player is necessarily just dropping a ridiculous amount of numbers. It seems like it's a collective team effort, and you guys have a good understanding of how to use kills to win maps.
Yeah, I mean, me like you guys like it just to kind of talk about what you said with like people having stinkers and stuff and like getting. I usually have never just been like, that dude just sucks. Like to me, it's like, all right, what's the team doing? Is he in bad situations? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is his teammate helping him and stuff like that? Because that's what can happen sometimes. Like you're just put in the bad spot. You're this and that, which is not always an excuse, but like for what you mentioned, Fire. I think like, is it? I don't know if it's a system making him uncomfortable, if it's a confidence thing and stuff like that. Obviously, Clay like has been beast, so that was just obviously like an off map for him.
Yeah.
But I think that's just what kind of was happening with us too. When like me and Preston would just have bad games, was just trying to get us into better positions. Because at the end of the day, we're pro players. You should be able to out trigger and get a kill and whatnot, and it just help each other out. I think there was 2 big plays in this game that swung in our favor. Is one, Jerry stayed alive like Zig on a P5 hill the entire time. Like literally the entire time. Over there where Preston is right now at the end of this game.
Oh, okay.
And during a P5, and he got to a 6 streak, and Preston killed him. And another big play is right before this P1 pop, Sam killed Awakening off P5, off scrap of 20 seconds, and it shifted the Florida like rotation to come into this P1 because they were getting a lot of kills on us, and the P1 rotation could have been way cleaner for them. But once Sam killed Awakening, it like shifted where like someone had to go get, because that's 20 seconds. That's a lot of scrap time.
Yeah.
So they like shifted, and I think Pierce made a play and Sam made a play on that thing to make it. And Preston, I think Preston pushed out again what we call Zig, and then that's why I think our P1 ended up being like more clean than it probably would have if Sam doesn't kill Awakening off P5.
Yeah, I mean, this just got mixy because this fucking map and that P3, P4 chain, they were just able to bring back like 120 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys just got caught in that trap. I mean, it's so hard.
The P2 trap.
It's just so hard, bro. It's so hard to get out of it. But you guys stay composed and you do what you got to do to just hold on to that P1. You went big, Dan, in that plane at the end. By the way, you went huge. By picking up when you were stuck in that corner. Yeah, it was a big 2-piece, bro. That was huge. And then Big P came in and had a 2-piece back. And then there you go. Game over.
Yeah, I think it was like good comms. I think from Preston. Preston's like, as soon as I got the 2-piece, you have that timing window to take this guy off the hill, not let him just sit there and stall time.
Yeah.
And I think you see Preston hit the go button like he will. And then I think Pierce just followed him up. They killed him and they shut it down. I was just hard blocking. I was like, listen, y'all can do whatever you want on this map to finish it out. I'm in the back. I'm chilling. Do your thing.
Yep. And then we go into the predictions. My predictions have been fucking all over the place. I can't get a match right. I can't. I don't know. I started off good. Now I can't get one right. I don't know.
I think everybody's pick'ems are chalked. Bro.
We're all chalked up.
There's no way someone has a perfect bracket.
I think a single one right so far.
I fucking can't do it anymore.
Wait, are you serious?
No, not like in the major. Not a single one.
Jesus.
All right, well, we'll kick it off. We got Minnesota Rocker going up against Dallas Empire. I was thinking Dallas, but since I'm always fucking wrong, I'm thinking I should go Minnesota. But now I think I'm overthinking it. So I think I'm just going to go with Dallas here, 3-2. But I think it's going to be a good match, and I think Minnesota obviously got, they got the better of Dallas, but I think this can go either way. I'll give Dallas 3-2 just because of how they played today. Krim got his team watching that stupid fucking movie he's been talking about, and apparently their S&D is fixed.
Well, it's a good movie, Tropic Thunder. I don't want you to roast it.
I'm not roasting a movie. I'm saying
you said stupid fucking movie. It's a good movie.
Well, Ben, come on. It's like what's the word, Dan? What am I looking for?
It's like Krim leaving and Mind Jim on the door of your hotel room.
It's just like a figurative speech. I don't fucking know. It's just a movie. Krim's like,
it's a stupid movie in the sense that it's a comedy. It makes you laugh for doing stupid shit.
It's just come on. They gotta watch a fucking movie, and all of a sudden they're good at S&D now. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is like the time that Krim left copies of Mind Jim.
This guy's a fucking maniac.
I'm gonna go with 3-2 Rocker. I think Rocker's just been playing really consistent this entire split with the new addition of Standy, and I don't know if Dallas is gonna continue to be able to put the S&Ds together, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like where Dallas is kind of heading towards. But what we've seen from Minnesota so far is they finally figured out the respawns, and like this is a series where I think even with Dallas's S&D improvement, I think Minnesota has been the better S&D team, so I kind of got to give it to Minnesota in a game 5.
Let's go. We're changing it up today, Ben.
Yeah, like that.
Thank God.
I don't know for the next prediction, though, we're going to change up. I think we may all be.
Oh, wait. All right. You guys have game 5. Do you have the same thing that's happened in the last 2 times they've met up with the control and 2 S&Ds, or do you have Rocker actually winning a hard point?
I can see Rocker winning a hard point.
I'm trying to think of what the maps are going to end up here.
I don't know what the heck's going to happen. I'm just
the maps here could go all over the place.
Yeah, this could be kind of wicked.
Empire so used to losing search and control of these guys. There might be some weird vetoes coming in for the series. We'll see.
Yep, no, 100%. And then we go into the next one. Atlanta FaZe versus Toronto Ultra. I got FaZe 3-1. I can see Ultra taking a map, but I just think FaZe is too strong.
They had before, right?
What happened?
They won a search, right?
Yeah, I think so. Last time they took a map, I think. Yeah. I'll go 3-1 FaZe.
I'll go FaZe 3-2 just because Ultra's got a big confidence win under their belt, and they're going to be feeling fucking good going in that match. And I'm really hoping that it's a good series, but I'm going to still give the W to FaZe.
I think this is going to be a FaZe 3-0. I don't think we're going to see a raid S&D in the second map again. I just think both times the teams have squared up, the respawns have been really tough to watch. And I don't see that changing again. I think FaZe will coast here into winners finals.
Yeah. Dan?
I'll give it to FaZe. I'll say 3-1.
All right. Then we go on to the next one. We got Chicago Optic going on up against Dan and Seattle Surge. This is going to be a good one because I think Seattle looks good. I think Optic looked a little rough today, but I don't know. Last time you guys met, Dan, they took you guys, right? They got you guys.
Yeah, we arguably choked map 1 hardpoint raid. Got smoked in the S&D checkmate, and then lost the raid control.
This one's hard. This one's hard.
3-0 in a tough one.
I'm gonna go Optic 3-2. I think it's gonna come down to the wire. I think it ultimately depends on what Seattle we get tomorrow and what Optic we get tomorrow. So I don't know.
Agreed. Coin flip.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll see who comes out to play. But, I just feel like Optics are going to go back. They're going to watch their film. They're going to try and fix every little thing and maybe come out strong. And obviously, Seattle's feeling good right now, coming off a big dub against Florida. So it's going to be a good match. I don't know. I'll go Optic 3-2 for now, but I don't fucking know. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, my thought process is like, I would love to see Seattle win this series. And Dan, I think you guys have been playing well. It's just like, it's really tough for me to not pick Optic on a rebound.
Just because I'm in a call, bro, you just act like I'm not in the call, bro. I don't care.
I'll go.
Dan don't give a fuck.
I think this though. Like if you had asked me this series like a week and a half ago, I probably would have said the Optics a heavy favorite. But now I don't really know. I think Seattle will put up a good fight, and we'll just have a banger 5-game series. But I'm taking Optic.
I'm going to do the same. Take Optic 3-2. I know you guys have been playing a lot better, Dan, but for me, it's always Optic.
You don't got to explain your stuff to me, brother.
It's being polite. It's all good.
It's just being polite. But Optics just seems they continue to lose to themselves. And I really last time I bet against Optic in the Dallas series, Optic literally beat Dallas, but I think if they just can stop losing themselves, man, they'll find themselves at least in the top 3 of this major, man. And it's disappointing to see if you're an Optic fan, because it's always coming down to the smallest mistakes, and it seems like they should definitely be winning some of these series convincingly, and they're not.
This is a must-win series for Optic because, and the reason I say that is, yeah, they're going to make it to top 8 in playoffs, but like, it is very likely that Dallas and FaZe probably get top 4, if not top 3, if not top 2 in this major.
Man, on.
And
they're getting everything.
Well, I'm saying the point is that Optic can't be dropping the points by finishing top 8 in this major. They really need to try and advance farther here in the bracket. So I think they're gonna have a lot of motivation.
If Optic were to lose, do you think they'll make a change?
It's
probably not.
The Optic problem is like, it's not about personnel. I think it's the same problem that they have had at points over the last couple of years, especially once Krim was off the team. They are a very good front-running team. They know how to play base situations well. When things get mixy, when there's adversity, then sometimes the decision-making becomes sporadic. They're not always on the same page. They put themselves in positions where they're not holding the right setups.
Yeah, but Ben, when is enough enough? When this is a continue, I don't know. That's why I'm posing this question, because if they continue to fall flat in these majors and the problems that have plagued them in all of their map losses continue to happen, what do they do? When is enough enough? That's just the conversation I wanted to start.
I don't think it's about the personnel. I think they need to decide as a team they want to be a good team or a great team, because they have the talent to be a good team. But right now, the great teams are putting in a little bit extra than they are. You can tell in the way that FaZe and Dallas and New York approach the game, the depth of strategies they have. It just feels like Chicago sometimes gets stuck into sort of always having a plan A and not having a plan B. So,
gotcha.
I don't think it's necessarily like a swap in personnel is going to solve that problem.
I would personally keep the team. I just feel like, because it's one of those things too. It's like, okay, if you're going to make a change, who do you drop? And it's very difficult to choose one, which is why I don't think they need a change. I don't think it's anything kind of what Ben said. I don't think it's a person, like anything with anybody on the team. Like, I just feel like they're making mistakes, and they're mistakes that players like that shouldn't be making, and they know that. I mean, Envoy literally tweeted it out. They threw the fucking series. So we'll see. I mean, they definitely have, their ceiling is just impeccable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll see what they could do. They're going back and they're going to try and fix their mistakes. But even talking to Scump on the pinch, a few days ago, I mean, the pinch, it's a late night, we call it the pinch.
I like that.
He was saying, that they motivate each other. When things are going wrong, they always try to motivate each other and try and push themselves through tough times. And I think a team like this is going to want to stick together and try and get it going. And somebody said Scump should retire. Scump looked incredible today.
And
he looked incredible. Matches they played.
Yeah, and I was going to say, and he looked incredible last series. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about in the chat.
Let me ask this, Tom. One last thing on the Optic thing about the personnel. If you were the Optics players, right? Envoy, Scump, and Formal, would you have picked Dashi over Priesta in terms of finishing out your flex role? Because I don't know if looking back on it, that would have been the decision I think I would have made.
I mean, Dashi's pretty fucking raw.
But the ceiling on Preston as well. I feel like that's not as much of a cut and dry choice. I think Preston maybe gives them a little bit of a different look and maybe some more dynamicism.
Nah, I like their team. I like their team how it is. I think Dashi meshes well with these guys. I think they got good chemistry. I think Dashi's just like too good to pass up. I wouldn't pass up on Dashi. Fuck no.
I don't think anyone would.
Fuck no. I think
it's just a tough call. I just think Dashi probably has more chem with Seth too. So just
it's a chemistry. It's a team thing. It's like a team chemistry thing.
From the outside looking in, it looks like they have a very good team atmosphere when it comes to just out of game chemistry and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think agree. Preston fits that Minnesota squad better than Dashi would. I think Dashi wouldn't work on that Minnesota squad, but I think Preston works well. That's what I'm saying. You got to look at the personnel. Dashi Lamar. Give me a fucking break. It'll never work. Now we go on to New York Subliners and Los Angeles Thieves, right? We got the NYSL going up against the Thieves. This one's crazy because Thieves look like they're 10 times better. 10 times better. So I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but I obviously got to go with my guys. I'm going 3-2 New York because I think this is going to be a fucking battle.
I think New York wins as well. I don't really know a map count here because Thieves are just a wild card at this point. I don't know what you're going to see out of these guys throughout the rest of the major. But that's just my pick right there. New York for the dub at least.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a tough one to read because if you're in New York, it's like, well, now your film's out the window. The only film you can look at is from the last 2 days, and you may not even have film on the maps that you think you're going to get in this series. I don't think Clay's going to have another stinker series again. We've seen him rebound well in situations like this, come back the next day and fry. I got New York in a 3-2. I think this is going to be probably one of the... This in the Minnesota series, well, dude, 3 of the 4 series in here could be absolute game 5ers. I think this one's going to be a battle for New York, and they're just going to grind it out. And it'll be a tough loss for Thieves, but I think New York's just right now the better team on paper, and they'll figure it out in the game 5.
Yep. And Dan, you got a prediction?
I mean, I think Kagi earlier kind of pointed at it where don't really know. Subliners can't really prepare for Thieves other than obviously based on their 2 matches. And obviously Thieves can just throw absolute just curveballs left and right at them, just being a fresh new team.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of angles where I'm sure, Tommy, you've done it, where it's like, do we play a map where they just have nothing on us? And I think Thieves probably has that option where they can just play like an S&D map or something where subliners just don't even know how they're going to play it. And I mean, you kind of heard Draw say that they're kind of free to roam S&D and just let make plays. So that can be dangerous in S&D. But I think Subliner is just too good of a team to let this series slip away. But I'll probably give it a game 5 New York.
What about you, Chris?
I already said I got New York. I just have no idea what kind of map, what kind of map.
You don't know what maps you're gonna
look. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thieves are just a wild card, bro. They're a wild card in this
just
major.
Played, what, Apocalypse?
Yeah, Apocalypse was in there.
That's wild.
Somebody in the chat goes, this is seriously getting ridiculous. The reason Optic keeps losing is because they torch too much time. They need to stop doing stupid stuff like Minecraft and showering at separate times. If they all shower together, they could practice at the same time and improve team chemistry. Or maybe they just cut Scump and bring in someone from Challengers. Who knows? You're an idiot. I know it's a fucking copy pasta problem.
Yeah, I'll be actually curious what New York does, because like if I'm Thieves, I'm just trying to put myself in their position. It's like, are we banning Moscow or are we banning Checkmate Hardpoint against New York? Because Apox in play, then if New York wants to take it, obviously they have to start on bad side. But they may just pick the other of the 2 between Moscow or Checkmate.
I think Steve is just going to square up, bro.
I'm being requested.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I think the Thieves are just going to square up with New York. No bullshit.
Requested from who?
Yeah, I think they will. They've been playing it. They've had success. They might just say,
my chat started saying get on the flank. It was a few of them. So I thought maybe you were asking for me.
Nah, no one was.
But I'll be honest. I do miss your presence. I will be honest with you.
Oh, they said they need prime expertise out of Nameless. You guys want Nameless's thoughts?
Yes, please. Yeah. Nameless, welcome to the show. What are your thoughts going into this last match with New York Subliners and Los Angeles Thieves?
Wow, I'm mind blown.
Thank you, and it's always a pleasure to hear you come in with your analysis and just drop so much knowledge on the chat. We really do appreciate you coming in here every single day, letting us know who's gonna, that's a pretty good prediction, Ant. You know what I'm saying?
Someone said, don't get on the flank, you just talk over people, LOL. Thank you, Sweaty Dinner. It's always good to hear
Always
from
a pleasure, Sweaty. Always
Thanks
a pleasure.
for your expertise. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck
what
you.
What the hell?
I went through most of the show without doing that.
And listen, guys, we're going to take some questions to the chat. And before we do take any questions, I want to let you guys know that we are now on Spotify, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go. Clap it up.
Let's get a Spotify in the chat, or a Spotify in the chat. Spotify. So if you guys are tired of listening to it on YouTube, it will be on Spotify to download or listen to. You guys can go follow. We are on Spotify, The Flank. So make sure to go check it out. Ben's put it in the chat, so go click on there. I'm also going to tweet it out later.
Responsibility and this done, so shout out myself.
Because I do everything else, so I figured it'd be great for Ben to do something.
Sure.
What the hell?
It's a mutual effort between you and I. We pick up the different responsibilities.
We do. That's what I'm saying. You're making me seem like, what am I, an asshole to you?
Nah, so you take care of the YouTube. I take care of the other platforms.
It's been a pleasure, Ben, to work with you. We do work off each other.
Y'all are a good duo, bro.
Yeah, we work off each other. We'll take
a couple questions here, Tom. Fun one off the bat. I know you and I were watching the Masters today, watching everybody get smoked out in the course.
Yeah, the golf was fun.
We got Tom on a golf kick now. Masters, though, absolutely crazy. Course looks tough. We'll see what happens the rest of the week, but let's take some COD questions.
I saw hole in one. That's all I saw.
Yeah, that Tommy guy. Yeah, we got a $1 donation. Yeah, that guy's cool, bro. That guy's cool as fuck.
Pulling a soap, getting a hole in one 16.
We got a $1 donation. He said, "What about Arcides over Dashy for the role?" I mean,
that's didn't want to be there, so that wasn't an option.
I don't think Alec has a big team fit there.
And I think Alec he wants to be a main AR. Period. That's just why he moved to FaZe to begin with.
Optic is not changing.
They're not changing. They're not changing.
I think Optic can place last this tournament and the next tournament, and they still won't change.
Probably not. Definitely not. Do you think Dashie playing essentially a second main AR role, never bringing out a sub, is hurting Optic? He has the lowest engagements, and you see people like Gullis who actually flex striving.
I think the only actual flex is Pierce.
They don't really even play maps like that. They don't play Garrison. They don't play Garrison, and that's like literally the only map that you can really do it unless it's like
maybe
a very
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. And then
they don't play Apocalypse either. So
the only other time you could bring that out is very niche situations or like S&D.
That will kind of screw them though. If the meta does turn to a 3-sub meta, I'm very curious how they try to tackle that problem, because Dashie, while as a flex player, has definitely shown that he's way more of an AR than a sub side in that flex.
You play the new patch and that has not happened.
Yeah, I was about to say, if anything, it will be opposite.
Just Krieg got better.
I'd be seeing triple Krieg on checkmate again and stuff like that.
Triple Krieg. We see
somebody quad Krieg.
Somebody coming in, he said, what do you think, who do you think is the next roster change? Who's out, who's in?
Paris, 100%, I think. Based on what Weskin said.
I mean, based on what the fuck Weskin said, he's got his brother on the team. Apparently, they're the next one making a change. I don't know who the heck they're picking up. But if they are picking somebody up, I don't know what they're doing.
Emergency flank soon.
Yeah, we might need to turn on the emergency flank. I don't know.
I just
stay
pop
tuned.
Up one day.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
That's how it be sometimes. I think though, like the other one, I don't think Florida needs to make a change. I think LAG situation is very interesting because they had some promise last week and then absolutely nothing this week. So the team's basically in the same spot they were to begin the season. So I'm very curious to see how the org approaches that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like you said, they did finish out strong, but then to come out the major flat, it's just like
they need the points now. They got to start trying to make a move.
LAG is like a worse like Florida. Like they have potential, they can compete sometimes, but most of the time they're flat. While Florida's kind of the opposite, where they're just a little bit better than them in terms of how competitive they are in matches.
How do you guys think people make changes? Like, do people? I'm not sure if teams make changes to win or if they make changes to be competitive. It's just like, what do you mean, good heavens?
Sorry, I'm looking at the stream and
I pulled up a tweet.
Weskins is
he's chirping. Tweet. He don't give a fuck no more.
He did it last time.
He came out. He said, this is obviously about London. He said, but remember, it was my fault 6 months ago. Good night, tweeter. Catch you tomorrow for another session.
He don't give a fuck. That's a video for him.
You know, to be honest, he just don't give a fuck anymore. He wants to get back into the game. He wants to play. Obviously, they said he was a problem not too long ago, and they haven't been showing anything since. So he's gonna come on Twitter and he's gonna show some words and you know he's gonna come out. He's not gonna hold back. Also, I do want to hint. I see this DMX stuff, guys. R.I.P. DMX, man. That's super sad.
Yeah,
super sad.
Really sad situation.
I'm hearing things that apparently his manager is saying he's not actually dead yet. So there's some. Sorry, go ahead. There's some mixed reactions. I see a lot of RIPs. I see a lot of he's not dead.
The chat's saying that too.
He's in a vegetable state.
As far as I'm concerned, if you're brain dead in a vegetable state, I mean, like, maybe you're not
that's sad, man.
physically dead, but I mean, you're mentally dead, right? Like,
I don't know. What happened? And this is per TMZ article, but. So TMZ basically reported that he had an OD and then he had no oxygen going to his brain for like 30 minutes. Any old doctor will tell you, and I'm obviously not an expert, that your brain needs oxygen, and when you don't have oxygen for a while, you sustain brain damage. So there's been some reporting back and forth that he may have little brain activity. At that point, it's just a case of what do you want to do? Because so maybe they're still trying to get everybody there to say goodbye, but man, it's a real tough situation. He was starting to turn his life around, man. I know he'd been in and out of prison and, he'd been doing some videos and a bunch of other stuff. So it's really sad, man.
Yeah, definitely really sad, man. That's an absolute, he's a legend, bro. DMX is a legend. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad, bro. Obviously he's had his problems and he's gone through a lot. Yeah. But it's just really sad to hear. You never want to see somebody go out like that. So hopefully, prayers up to him and hopefully maybe something can turn around. But like Ben said, I'm not a doctor. I don't really know what's going on with him. So, I don't really want to say too much, but all I can say is just, prayers up for him and hopefully it gets better, man. I don't know, but we'll move on, man. We'll go on to this question. We'll end it here, man. We got two questions. We got These will be the last two as well, because I see you guys donating and dropping some questions. Saw a discussion on Optics podcast about 100T being able to basically have a new team for the major and rosters not being split locked. Wonder if you guys had any opinions or takes on that situation. Much love to you. Much love, brother.
You can't lock rosters because I mean you're allowed to make mid-series substitutions. So as long as they're on your roster, how can you? It's still your roster, right? If they wanted, they can play Draza and Hardpoint, Temp and Control and Slasher and Search.
It doesn't matter.
So I mean, you can't really lock.
I like that. I like that you could change your team. I mean, it's part of just having people on the sidelines. It's like any other sport. Sometimes in other sports you have new lineups coming out. You know, you just have a lot of people to work with. That's the whole point of signing players and paying them some money and
especially
getting them under
they had
contract.
These players already, right? It'd be different if like today they sign somebody to a 14-day contract and he plays tomorrow type stuff. Like that is their roster. That's like they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I think it's fair play that they just are allowed to do essentially whatever.
I mean, the thing with Thieves right now is, I mean, I said it earlier. It's just like teams that have nothing to lose are scary because like they come in. The expectations for them aren't really high. It's like they're in a honeymoon phase. They're in losers. They're going into every match like, yo, fuck it. Just let's go kill people. Let's have some fun. And like that's when teams play their best and when there's no pressure. Tom, it's kind of like I say it a lot, but like that's like your phase team in season 1, World War II. It's like you guys were about to make a team change. You guys were in losers. You guys essentially chalked the team. You were like, yo, fuck it. Let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when you see
the
those
famous
miracle
meeting.
runs. Yeah, that's when you have the miracle runs happen. It's like when no one, there's no pressure on anybody really. It's just like, fuck it, we're new. Let's just play some COD.
Yeah, and then we got one more question coming in. We'll end it here. Not the best question, I'll be honest with you, Dylan, but since you donated some cash, we'll answer it. What are your thoughts on John replacing Slacked on Florida? I personally, I think the Slack slander is just kind of stupid, bro. I mean, he had a bad map. He had a bad map. I mean, I don't know, man. I think Slack brings a lot to a team, and he's been playing well. Like, Slack's been doing good this year. I mean, he hasn't been bad by any means.
He isn't their issue, at least from what you can see on the outside looking in. He's not.
I don't think he is either.
I think John for Slack, dude, still have like the John Neptune just needs to get on the same page as Shu. And John's also like the tail end of John's pro career, and I think again he will make. We've said before in the show, I think he'll make it back at the pro level. He was never that consistent, so I think you have similar problems.
That is cap.
Wait,
that is absolutely.
Talent, you're saying.
No, yeah, Black Ops 4, he wasn't like John said.
Sorry.
He's good at
absolutely fine in World War II.
He's good at this game. I've played him in a lot of challengers. He's good, but the one thing I want to touch on is you see a team like Optic, who's all very talented and stuff like that, superstars, all in their own aspect, and they still struggle to win some of these series. Like doing that to Florida, essentially, who's doing that to their mic?
Oh, my bad. My shit was clicking. My bad. I'm just tapping the thing on the desk.
I thought you were hitting a mouth on your desk.
But yeah, so I was saying, doing that to Florida and just getting this another super talented player who hasn't been in league in a while, again, is not going to fix their problems at all.
Is there a pacing issue for Florida, you think? Just curious. I mean, because I hear they're great in scrims, but matches slow down a lot, like just sort of that's just the way it works, right? A lot more discipline in matches, less ego chows.
From playing them today, it didn't seem like they had a pacing issue.
So Dan, what do you think?
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm late. I don't want to go back. I'm sure you guys discussed it. Like, what do you guys think is going wrong?
The first two maps
could have got inconsistencies, man.
Yeah, the first two maps were pretty close. Like round 11, I'm sure they can go back and think they should have won that. Control Garrison, we just took advantage of the defenses, and then Preston got streaks to close out offense, which usually happens in a Control Garrison. And Checkmate, I mean, we just kind of went out to an early lead on Checkmate. They almost brought it back, though. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a pacing issue.
It was a competitive match.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a pacing issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I see a lot of people saying Slacked is your friend and all that. Guys, you're not just going to replace Slacked and see that team turn it around. He's most definitely not like a huge problem for them. He had a bad map today. People are saying he's been ass all year. I personally just disagree. I don't think he's been ass all year. I think he's been doing his role. You guys can look all you want at the scoreboard and stuff, but just watching the match back and watching them play as a team and seeing the inconsistencies throughout the whole entire team. I
literally had less damage than him in the entire series, and my team won. So.
Yeah, I just think you guys are just looking at it the wrong way. It's not like a Paris situation with Fire or some of these other team changes like 100 Thieves where they clearly needed a change and stuff like that. These guys are just seeing clear. They're having clear highs and clear lows, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And it just points one person out and single him out makes no sense to me personally. But you guys can think what you want.
But a lot of these teams and fans, like, they don't accept values anymore. It's like, if a team isn't playing well for one major, everybody's acts like it's the end of the world, and it's like, who's getting replaced? Who needs to get changed? It's like, sometimes a team can stick together and be better and improve. I mean, that's just...
I feel like that's a recent craze, too.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I said,
I think that's cap.
How is that cap? I'm at the fucking freak. Go ahead.
Because let's go back. Let's go back. So no, I'm gonna explain why it's cap.
Go ahead, explain it.
Look, if you go back and look at the amount of roster transactions that happened in the AW days, in the Black Ops 3 days, in the World War II days, it was quite dramatic. We are having less roster changes now. I, though, agree with you that, like, I think what happened this year was a bunch of teams felt like they didn't have strong rosters, and they were like, okay, we need to pick up a sub player. They all happen to have the same issue. And then there was this run on sub players because they were all talking to the same guys. They knew all these teams were in the market, so they all wanted to make moves at the same time, so they weren't left holding an empty bag. I think that's kind of happened in the last, like, 3 or 4 weeks. But feel free to dispute my point about roster change volume.
Okay, but you don't agree that, like, now every time a team struggles, it's automatically talked about what needs to change rather than...
I think it's because there's only 12 more teams, more people care.
Yeah,
whereas, like,
also just
when the 12th team got shit on in World War II or any of those games, no one cared.
Now you're way more into the microscope with less games.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going out to an event and playing like 8 games. So I see where you're coming from, Zin. Like, it is obviously tough for the players because you have one bad performance and then you're kind of just in that hot seat. But I think it's just sort of nature of this format. The fact that you only play 5 games and then qualify for a major. No, that's what I'm saying. And then,
I mean, I agree with you, but I'm saying, like, the format also contributes to what I'm saying. Like, you play a little amount of matches, only 8 teams qualify for champs. It's like everybody's racing against the clock and not given time to actually improve, right? Like, everybody's talking about a Florida team change, and hell, maybe they do change. But who's to say Florida don't go back, practice hard, and come back and win a major or place top 3 at a major? You know what I'm saying? It's just like everybody now is so quick.
How you doing?
What needs to change? Like, who do we need? Like, just because certain teams made changes and it worked for them doesn't mean every team needs to change when they're struggling. Like, that's just the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I also think that, like, there's a couple of issues at play here. There's, like, the competitive side to it. There's a perception
before you
side.
Continue, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you guys want to do predictions. I'm sorry for...
just fucking... The whole fucking chat is prediction. Call me a fucking bum.
I'm trying to give my prediction, guys.
Okay, both of you got a minute.
Fire it off, Zinni. You fire it off first. Then Don, you fire it off. Go ahead, Zin. Fire it off. All 4 right away. Go. Bang.
Rocker, Ultra, Optic, Thieves.
Wait, whoa. Let's give some map counts.
Hey,
no?
Where the fucking map counts at?
Yeah. We don't need to go that fast.
Okay, fine. Rocker 3-2.
All right.
Ultra 3-2.
Cool.
Optic 3-1. Thieves 3-2.
Okay.
All right, Donnie, who you got?
Listen, I'm going Dallas Empire 3-0.
Okay.
Big Hook, best in the biz. FaZe, I'm going Atlanta FaZe 3-1 for Shursky.
Hey.
I like for sure.
Abezy and Simp. Wow.
Yeah.
Optic Seattle.
Wow.
This is Temp, by the way. This is Temp. For those of you who don't know.
Optic Surge. I'm gonna give Chicago 3-1. Chicago 3-1.
Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
Now, Don, final one.
And then LA Thieves Subliners. I'm gonna go Subliners. Or no. I'm gonna go Thieves 3-2 reverse sweep once again. Back against the wall.
Another reverse sweep.
Piecing.
Back to back.
I thought you were gonna say it the other way. That would have been comedy.
No,
I'm out this bitch.
On the 100, you're out then.
Yeah.
Dan, yo, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Gotta go get some rest, you know.
Yeah, go do what you gotta do. You got a big match tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, good luck, Dan. Thank you for coming on, bro.
I
thought Temp was gonna come on and say my team's getting smoked tomorrow.
No, they're looking good. The Thieves are looking good. They're looking loose. They might be off the Don Julio 1942.
They're on the Julio.
Look at that stop at a party.
This bottle is over here.
They're looking loose.
You're Saints. Saints, drop your fucking predictions.
Wait, Ben, you got some Don Julio?
Yeah, hold up.
Listen, I will not be partaking in the predictions.
My guy win, man, with some Don Julio.
Wait, he just whipped it out. Wait, did he just fucking whip it out from under the table? What?
Yo, what the hell? Yo, can we get a win?
What do you think this is?
Yo, that's my guy who win, bro.
Betty boy. boy.
That's my guy who went with some
let me find out. Ben, let me find out you've had some company over.
Ben.
Ben is a demon, bro.
Listen, yesterday Ben said it. Yesterday we were talking about LA Gorillas and Ben, about a roster change, and Ben was like, yeah, I mean, like LA Gorillas can definitely pull some people. Nice weather, amazing girls. I said, what the
weather
fuck?
in California is nice. The girls are nice. I want to go back just to put a pin on. I want to go back to put a pin in my last thought though. No, chill.
All right, go ahead.
To your point, Zen, I think one thing that teams and players can do a little better though is like controlling the narrative around their teams. Like if in the PR world, like if you're not playing offense, you're playing defense. Would love to see just some more mastery of that. I think that will help.
Explain more. Elaborate. What do you want to see more?
There's nothing more to elaborate there. I think that teams need to provide some help to the players in terms of helping control the public narrative, so there's not more pressure on the players.
But how can they do that?
I don't want to give away secrets on how to do that, Zen.
Oh
shit.
Okay,
He
Ben.
said
Okay, gangster.
I mean, what do you want? More fucking J-Cap and Mud Dog videos discussing shit?
There's other stuff you can do, but.
Okay, so today we actually decided to make this change for the major. It's, it's optimal for our team and the short-term success.
Is that Astro?
No, that's just my overall suit voice.
It's a good suit voice.
All right, man. Well, I guess we'll end the show there. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check it out on Spotify and YouTube now. We're all over the place. But thank you guys for watching the show. We'll obviously be live again tomorrow after all these matches that you got up on the screen that we just talked about. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode, man. And thank you everybody that came on today for coming on. I appreciate you guys, man.
For anyone that's feeling a little bit down tonight, always remember, there's better days ahead.
Better days ahead. Better days coming soon. Better days ahead. New job coming soon. Giveaway live on Twitter, guys. Better days ahead.
Yeah, better days ahead.